A lawsuit against former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo over thousands of COVID-19 nursing home deaths. Sarah Lee Kessler reports.
The judge dismissed a proposed class action suit holding Cuomo responsible for COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes, calling the claims brought by 8 families legally deficient. She said while the court sympathizes with the plaintiffs, they don't have a right to sue Cuomo in federal court over his March 2020 order requiring New York nursing homes to admit COVID-infected patients. Cuomo spokesman Rich Azzopardi has released a statement saying, when this issue gets taken out of the press or political arena and into the courts, the truth wins. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
And the suspect in the shooting of 2 Memphis rappers has been found dead in Texas. Authorities say 21-year-old Jaden Dandridge shot and killed the rapper known as Say So P and injured Sauce Walker earlier this month. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Epperle's Plumbing and Heating can provide all your plumbing needs, from a new water softener or water heater to fixing that leaking faucet. Large to small, Epperle's can do it all. Family owned and operated at the same location since 1945. Professional residential and commercial sales, service, and installation. Their 4 master plumbers and friendly staff do quality work at affordable prices. An appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG, Epperle's Plumbing and Heating can be called at 717-597-7933. Remember, quality service leaves no regrets. Epperle's Plumbing and Heating, 9187 South Rabbit Road, Greencastle.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can support the small businesses that are dreaming big. Together, we can help families spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more about M&T's commitment to the people, businesses, and community organizations we serve at mtb.com/togetherwecan or stop by any local M&T Bank branch. Member FDIC.
Izolt's Air Conditioning and Heating of State Line, Pennsylvania is a proud supporter of WRGG. Your full-service air conditioning and heating business, Izolt's offers friendly professional service for all your air conditioning and heating needs. Whether it's a small repair job or you're planning on doing a major remodeling project, Robbie Izolt offers 30 years of qualified experience. You may call Izolt's at 597-7837. That's 597-7837. If it's done by Robbie, it's done right the first time.
Hi, folks. Lanny Carball. You're looking for bluegrass music? Hey, WRGG has bluegrass music right here every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. And if you happen to be up early on Friday morning, say from 4 to 6 a.m., you got it again. Bluegrass is WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have mostly sunny skies, high around 57. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, low around 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated afternoon showers, high around 61. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers, low around 54. And Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
No. One button I forgot.
Here we go.
Again, I got it. Currently, it is 39 degrees under clear skies in downtown Greencastle. What a switch there. Humidity is sitting at 70%. The record high for today, 84 degrees. Back in 1978, it was 9 degrees on this date. In 1923 for the record low. 35 to 57 is your average temperatures for this time of the year. We're in that average, just at the low end. 6:54 is when the sun will come up today. It'll set tonight, 7:35 in the p.m., giving us 12 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is sitting at 39 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
Ladies and gentlemen, WRGG presents the longest 3 hours in radio, The Morning Show. In the chair
weighing in at 86.18 kilograms, soaking wet, carrying the torch of the search for the unknown, the master of movie, and the official interpreter for Jackie at the mic, handsome Bill Gore! And in the chair to my right, from Greencastle, Pennsylvania, at a svelte 212 pounds in his dreams, the sockless wonder, the master of this disaster, Dr. Greg Hoover!
And welcome to The Morning Show. Yes, heard around the world at WRGG.org and heard in your house, hopefully, some way, one way or the other. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a brand new month already, April 1st. Hard to believe. I know. We say this every April 1st, every March 1st, every February 1st, whatever the time may be, but it is. The new month has arrived, and with it, well, spring showers, spring Mayflowers. That's the clue here. Got a little bit of rain last night, thank goodness. That was nice. Nice soaking rain coming through. Appears to be that today shall be a pretty good day. It's not going to be as warm. High's only around 57, but it'll be sunny skies. We'll take that. Big day today, 7 o'clock. We start a brand new feature here on the morning show. We still invite the Zoom brothers up, Jason Kabler and Chris Palladina, and we'll be doing our top 10 songs, one song a week. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Take us into what? April, May, June, for crying out loud. And we get it started with the number 10 songs today. And then we're going to play the song. So you'll actually, now this is no April Fool's joke. You'll actually hear some music on the radio. That'll be, or on the morning show. That'll be different, to say the least. And then at 8 o'clock, Chris Ardinger joins us. He is the administrator at Antrim Township. Find out what's going on in Antrim Township. That's all happened today. Stupid is, stupid does. Birthday club. You figure it out. You know the rest. All that's coming up. Unfortunately, this is where we do the countdown. And I forgot to do the new countdown that I always do over the weekend, but I wasn't home over the weekend. Got back, got busy, didn't know what was going on. And so I don't have the countdown until Bill comes. I'm hoping he has it from yesterday, and I can use that sheet when the time comes. But right now, we just don't have that happening. So we'll just, a little bit of what's going on tonight. Baseball game scheduled for today. It is at 4:15. Blue Devils are at home. And again, it's been one of those days I haven't taken a chance to look at the calendar, but we'll get to it, figure out what's going on. That starts about 4 o'clock right here at 93.7 WRGG. Trying to break a 2-game skid for the Blue Devils, and they've been 2-run loss and a 1-run loss. So they need to get the bats in order, getting them going, getting them hitting, getting them whatever they do, they do. So that's coming up today at 4 o'clock. Bill Gore is here. And Bill, would you happen to have the countdown from yesterday? Because I forgot to do a new one. Yes, he does. Look at that. It's right there. Right there it is. So I'll hit the button. There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It is the John Allison Public House Countdown, brought to you by the John Allison Public House. It's always good to be well organized. That's the secret to a successful show. That's why we do not have a successful show.
Oh, exactly.
It's the way the cookie crumbles there, I guess it was. It is the first day of April. The John Allison Public House Countdown. They open up at 11 o'clock today, by the way. 91st day of the year. 274 days are left. Your car inspections for the month of March, too late. Zippo, it is gone. April is here, however. And now you have 30 days, September, April. You have 30 days to get that done the way we see it here. We would ask that you, give Dixon's a call, give Antrim Way a call. All those would like your business right here. Get your car inspected. Greencastle Antrim Drama Club production of Shrek the Musical is coming up this Friday and Saturday. So we are now officially 3 days away from that because you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. 10 days to go to the Daddy-Daughter Dance. That's coming up already. We were with my granddaughter yesterday. We took her out to eat and went a little shopping, and we looked for dresses. She didn't like a thing I picked out. I don't understand. I thought the big sparkly green thing looked very nice, but evidently not nice enough. The pancake breakfast by the Lions Club's coming up in 11 days. That's Saturday at the middle school. Starts at 7, goes to 11. They're $2 cheaper, the tickets they are, not the pancakes. Well, the pancakes, I guess, are $2 cheaper if you get them beforehand. See a Lions Club member. But if not, only $10 at the door. That is 11 days away. 17 days now to Good Friday. Easter, 19 days away. 24 days up for the bulk drop-off days. And I have decided, Bill, we're going to take the remote unit and we're going to go down there and we're going to, because we've been saying we're going to do this for years.
Of course, yes.
So, you know, and people stop me all the time and say, hey, when are you going to do that broadcast?
Oh, they do, absolutely.
Okay. So maybe no one ever has but you and I. But we're going to do that anyway. So that sounds like fun. We'll be broadcasting. And it's always good to get out, too, by the way, see what's going on. Cinco de Mayo is 34 days away. We're going to broadcast live from Mexico that day.
Oh, we should. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. What you guys have in the back of that remote unit? Nothing, sir. It's all windows. Look, you can see. G Olympics, 37 days out. 40 days now to Mother's Day. Memorial Day is 55. 70 days till school ends. I think they got like 44 days of actual school. That would be on what we like to refer to as the Rhodanian calendar.
Of course.
Which we haven't talked about much lately. Drive-by Fun Drive is now 73 days away. Drive-by Fun Drive. We will be broadcasting live from the porch as we do Friday and Saturday that day. And, if you see it in your heart and your wallet, to drive by and throw money at us, we would certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely, yes.
That's what it's all about. Flag Day is the 14th. That's the Saturday or the same day we're going to do the fun drive the day before. 73 days away. Flag Day is 74 days away. Father's Day is 75. 80 days to the first day of summer. And then we'll do the 93.7 days of summer.
Oh, sure, absolutely, yes.
Well, we might do that.
I like how the number of days in the summer depend on the call numbers.
Some have 101, some have 93. I don't know. We're going to do 93.7. It's going to be only a couple hours there. So
93.7 days of summer.
Yeah. So 7 would be almost half. Maybe an hour, so we'll work that out. 93.7 days of summer.
The first time I actually became aware of that was a radio station down in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They were like the 98 point,
Yeah.
Like, what?
98 days of summer.
Yeah, and I'm like, I was saying to my parents, they're more, that's too many days.
They can't do that. But we will. Yeah. Canada Day, 91 days away. Bill will be celebrating, but not too much. Not too much. No. Don't want to give it away. 94 days to the 4th of July. Sidewalk Days, 101 day. We'll be broadcasting live somewhere on that day. Old Home Week 2025, 123 days away. We'll be broadcasting that week live and direct from wherever we may be. 125 days, the morning show will get its WRGG Old Home Week show, not the morning show, but with the fabulous hubcaps at Green Grove Gardens, 717-597-5460. The number to call, Linda's number to call. Well, Linda's not the number. Linda is who you call when you call the number.
Yes.
R Square in Greencastle, 339 days now. Hooray! Not bad for that thing sticking out there in the middle of the square, 339. Let's see, we've been on the air 3,293 days. And the morning show today, 1,995 days.
Yeah! Oh, man.
1 week from today will be 2,000 shows. If it all goes well.
All goes well.
I don't like to count the chickens.
2,000 shows, man.
For a show, they said, would not
That's what
last.
they said.
That's what they said. Yeah. Morning show days in a row. Bill has us up to 135.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike Bacos is 35. He's got 50. Actually, let's see, we do the 5 days, so that's 55, 54. 54 days to go for him.
Mike It's a jerk.
Oh,
I see it happening.
I see it happening.
I see him getting like his second win there, the last half.
I appreciate the optimistic
Yeah.
viewpoint that you have here today, Bill, but I don't know. It is, I don't know. I do know. It's the John Allison Public House Countdown, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, located 155 South Ansel Way in Greencastle, the founders of good times. So my kids, when I do that, and it happens every now and then, they just think that's the funniest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, Dad didn't reach puberty yet. But I have, I think. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I think. Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn, who hasn't hit puberty, said we will have mostly sunny skies today, highs around 57, increasing cloudiness tonight, lows around 38. And right now it is 39 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. Celebrate, 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 celebrate. It's a celebration.
Obviously, being April 1st, April Fool's Day.
It is.
Oh, yeah. In case you ever wondered, Greg.
I think I knew that.
The origins are this. The pre-Christian, or we call pagans in Europe,
Yes.
they followed the seasons, right? And so, like, springtime was a time of rebirth. So that's what's seen as the beginning of the year. Now, as Christianity spread, of course, things changed. And January 1st was seen as the beginning of the year. Of course, following the old Roman calendar. And those who held on to the old ways and still saw, like, spring as the beginning of the year were considered fools.
Ah.
Yes. So, April were around. Oh, look at those fools. They're still practicing the
Look at
old
those
way.
fools. I pity the fool.
Exactly.
Yeah, pity the
Now, the thing is, if you're going to prank somebody, you have to do it by noon. I don't know if you know that.
No, seriously.
Yeah. That's actually like this old. Like there are all these rules.
I didn't know that was anymore.
If you prank them after noon, then you're the fool.
I'm 69 years old.
I
How
know,
come I never heard
I
that
don't
before?
know. Yeah, because I remember doing something like. See, I used to do all my stuff because I always got up before the rest of my family. And I'd be long gone on my way to school. They were just getting up. And so I would do things like put salt in the sugar shaker for my dad had his top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Stuff like that.
All
Of
the
course,
fun
by the
stuff.
time I got home, it was all forgotten.
Yeah.
All right. So it's also the SAM Day of Action. This is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. That's where the SAM comes from, SAAM. And today's a day of action. Speak out, do something. It's also speaking up and doing something, it's Take Down Tobacco National Day of Action. This has to do with encouraging young people to either give up smoking or to encourage them to not take it up to begin with. It's National Sourdough Bread Day. That's like the only food item on here.
Is that it?
Yes, indeed.
That's,
And I like sourdough bread. Yeah,
I'll
it's
give you.
and it's National 1 Cent Day. It was on this day in 1787. The first 1 cent piece was coined. This was actually before the U.S. Mint was established. It was a private mint that coined them. But the interesting thing was they were designed by Ben Franklin. On one side it said "We are one." The other side said "Mind your business."
Really?
Yes.
I think that's more of a prank. I think that was April Fool's Day.
Yes, mind your business.
You know, it's interesting. The pagans must really got mad, after everybody sort of dropped their style of living and started that motorcycle gang. And
Right.
So,
Yes. I
think that's how that went,
Yes.
right in that order. So, oh my. Anyway.
Chairman, set the Wayback Machine.
1621, the Plymouth, Massachusetts colonists created the first treaty with Native Americans. 1787, as mentioned on the celebration, the 1 cent piece was coined. 1860, at one time there was actually a half penny as well.
Really?
Yeah. 1863, the first wartime conscription law went into effect in the U.S. Of course, that was a result of the Civil War. 1913, Britain's Royal Air Force was formed. 1924, Adolf Hitler was sentenced to 5 years in prison for high treason in relation to what they called the beer hall putsch. That was a bunch of Nazi leaders in a beer hall getting drunk, coming out to overthrow the government. All right, let's go march on. They routed by the police. He ends up in jail. Of course, because while he was in jail, he wrote Mein Kampf. Right. 1927, the first automatic record changer was introduced by His Master's Voice. That's HMV. 1929, Louis March introduced the yo-yo. 1930, Leo Hartnett of the Chicago Cubs broke the altitude record for a catch by catching a baseball drop from the Goodyear blimp, 800 feet over Los Angeles. 1934, Clyde Barrow, that's Clyde of Bonnie and Clyde, killed 2 young highway patrolmen in Grapevine, Texas. That was really the turning point, because up until then, they were considered like modern-day Robin Hoods.
Right, they were okay.
Yeah, they were like folk heroes. But once they did that, that's when public opinion turned against them. 1938, the Baseball Hall of Fame opened in Cooperstown, New York. 1939, the Spanish Civil War ended. 1941, the first contract for advertising on a commercial FM radio station began on W71NY in New York City. 1946, Weight Watchers was formed. 1952, The Big Bang Theory was prose in the journal Physical Review by Alpha, Beth, and Gamma.
I love that show.
Yes, indeed. 1954, the U.S. Air Force Academy was formed in Colorado. 1960, the Everly Brothers released Kathy's Clown. Went to number one for 5 weeks, sold 8 million copies. 1970, President Nixon signed the Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act, which banned cigarette advertisements, effective on January 1st, 1970, of course, all part of today being Take Down Tobacco National Day of Action. 1970 as well, Ringo Starr was the only Beatle present at the group's final recording session.
It was a drum solo.
Yes. 1974, Ayatollah Khomeini called for an Islamic Republic in Iran. 1976, Steve Wozniak conceived Jobs formed Apple Computers in the garage of Jobs' parents' house. 1982, the U.S. transferred the Canal Zone to Panama. 1984, Marvin Gaye was shot and killed by his father, Marvin Gaye Sr.
Yes, terrible.
I know. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, just shy of his birthday as well.
Yeah.
1987, Steve Newman became the first man to walk around the world. The walk was 22,000 miles and took 4 years. 1991, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the jurors could not be barred from serving due to their race. Just makes sense. 1992, players began the first strike in the 75-year history of the National Hockey League. It lasted 10 days. They were striking over their bonuses, and they wanted more control on licensing of their images. 1998, a federal judge dismissed the Paula Jones sexual harassment lawsuit against President Clinton, saying the claims fell far short of being worthy of a trial. In 2004, Google launched Gmail, and by the way, people thought it was a hoax.
Really?
Because it was April 1st. Yep. And in 2017, Bob Dylan received his Nobel Prize in Literature. He couldn't make it to the actual ceremony, so they had a private ceremony for him on this day.
Okay. And here's what I have on this day. In 1997, the Russian TASS news agency reported that an alligator named Gina, hatched from a quail's egg aboard the Mir space station, had bitten a U.S. astronaut. It was an April Fool's Day story. Now, who would have thought Russians had a sense of humor like that?
Yes.
Everything was great. And then in 2007, in an April Fool's Day prank, Google posted a link to its homepage offering consumers free high-speed wireless internet through their home plumbing systems.
I remember that. Yes.
And people believed them. I guess it could come through there. It could come through anywhere. I don't know. So that's what's going on somehow, some way. Coming up in the next half hour, I'll review the trip. It's not really.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of the misadventures of Mrs. Hoover, but I do have a couple stories to tell from our trip to Charlottesville. That's coming up. Of course, the news is first. Get us started that way. First look at our local news with Scott Douglas. Also, first look at PA radio news. NBC News starts it off, and Jim Vaughn has that weather forecast, which is rather nice, but not warm temperatures. But, okay temperatures. It's coming up next. Stay tuned.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios high above the broadcast house in downtown Greencastle. We are 93.7 WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump says some $5 trillion in U.S. investments can be expected after his tariffs take effect on Wednesday. New reciprocal tariffs kick in against Canada, Mexico, China, and the European Union. Voters in Wisconsin and Florida are getting ready to head to the polls for what's seen as a national political power struggle. Today in Wisconsin, there's a state Supreme Court election, and Florida voters will be deciding two pivotal vacant House seats that could help shift the balance of power nationally. Today is April Fool's Day. Be careful what you fall for. Here's Mark Mayfield.
While there may be no clear official origin, references to the first day of April as a day of trickery date all the way back to the 14th century. The first recorded April Fool's Day was in France in 1582. It's believed that April 1st was celebrated as New Year's Day before the Gregorian calendar changed it to January the 1st.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Clyde's Grocery at Shady Grove has been serving the local area for over 60 years with quality meats and groceries. All of our meats at Clyde's Grocery are fresh cut daily. Our in-store deli features subs, sandwiches, and hot food. You will find a large selection of quality fresh baked bread, cookies, and cakes in our bakery. Klein's Grocery in Shady Grove, family owned and operated, where quality meats, great prices, and friendly service is a tradition.
This is a Radio PA news update. A 32-year-old man has been arrested following a stabbing incident outside the Lancaster Islamic Center. Mohammed Abdul Rashid is facing multiple charges, including attempted criminal homicide, after allegedly stabbing two men Sunday morning on North Queen Street. Police responded around 9:15 a.m. and found two victims with non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities say the assault occurred after an argument between the parties involved. Rashid reportedly flagged down an officer at the scene and was taken into custody. The new gates at the Reading Pagoda are now operational. John Schaefer has more.
The gates were recently installed along Skyline Drive in an effort to keep the area safe for nearby residents as well as visitors. Mayor Eddie Moran said the city received complaints about late-night gatherings at the park with loud music along with illegal dumping. The gates will close every night at 9 p.m.
Two teenagers were shot in Northeast Philadelphia late Sunday. The incident occurred around 10:30 p.m. on Hellerman Street in Oxford Circle. Both teens are now in stable condition at a local hospital. Police are investigating the circumstances, noting the boys knew each other. This shooting caps off a violent weekend in Philadelphia with multiple teen shootings being reported throughout the city. And finally, the Philadelphia Phillies opened their 2025 home schedule with a 6-1 win over the Colorado Rockies. The Phils were powered by Kyle Schwarber, Max Kepler, and Nick Castellanos, who all went deep using the innovative torpedo bats. Yet it was Edmundo Sosa who was filling in for Trey Turner, leading the way with 2 RBIs on 2 hits. Christopher Sanchez had a strong outing, allowing just 1 run over 5 1/3 innings and striking out 7. While Sanchez did not get the win, his performance was good enough to set the tone for the rest of the day. The Phillies will have the day off today before resuming their series against the Rockies on Wednesday. Zach Wheeler scheduled to take the mound. First pitch will be at 6:45. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Headquartered in Greencastle and serving the tri-state area, Dice Office Equipment offers sales, service, and support for copiers, office printers, and managed print services to businesses and nonprofits within the region. Dice aims to make finding, repairing, and operating office equipment as easy as it should be, with quality products at fair prices, service for different equipment types, and a variety of brands to choose from. You can be sure a Dice solution will be tailored to meet your needs. Visit www.diceoe.com. That's www.diceoe.com for more information.
Dice's office equipment, now part of the CDS family.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. It's the 1st of the month. Yup, April 1st. You know what that is, don't you? Hey, coming up, another Easter egg hunt to tell you about. Stand by. Sad news now from the Greencastle Police Department as they released this last night. Sunday, another person has died while riding an electric bicycle or e-bike. It happened on Ronald Drive off South Antrim Way in the development behind Antrim Way Honda. Greencastle police say the unidentified person was pronounced dead at the scene after EMS did their best to revive them. This comes after the death of 36-year-old Brandon Garrison of Hagerstown, who was killed last Tuesday on Longmeadow Drive in Hagerstown while riding an e-bike which collided with an SUV. Our condolences to family and friends of both victims. Yesterday, the Washington County Board of Commissioners announced that their countywide burn ban will remain in effect. They will continue to monitor weather conditions and reevaluate this Friday, April 4th. All outdoor burning is prohibited. That includes campfires, open fire pits, burning of debris and brush, agricultural burns, and that's the same as it is here in Greencastle Borough, Antrim Township, and Washington Township. All those burn bans remain in effect. So cool your jets and wait till conditions get better. In other news, Pennsylvania State Police are on the lookout for the Antrim Township chainsaw bandits. What? Over the last couple of weeks, multiple chainsaws have been stolen from Advanced Tree Solutions in Greencastle and another business. Crooks stole them right out of the company's trucks. Pennsylvania State Police believe the suspects are from the Mercersburg area. If you have any information, call the Pennsylvania State Police Chambersburg Barracks. A man from Mexico who was deported in 2019 was picked up at the end of last year during a DUI traffic stop in Franklin County. The United States Attorney's Office announced that 34-year-old Daniel Martinez Canjay of Mexico has now been indicted by a federal grand jury on a charge of illegal re-entry. Canjay's DUI case in Franklin County is pending as he awaits the deportation case. So remember I mentioned the Easter egg hunt coming up April 19th at Tayamena. Well, if you don't want to wait that long, there's an Easter egg hunt right next door. It's an Easter egg hunt and fun run this Saturday from 1 to 3 at the Gale Center on Oak Hill Avenue in Hagerstown. The YMCA is a co-host for the event. No registration required. Just come on and have some Easter egg fun this Saturday. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
Since 1984, Greencastle Eye Care Center has been the leader of quality vision care, using state-of-the-art diagnostic technology, providing personalized optometric services, and the best quality optical products to their patients in Greencastle. The experienced optometrists offer comprehensive eye exams, specializing in the diagnosis and treatment of eye disease, and fit many different types of contact lenses. Greencastle Eye Care Center participates with many insurances and are always accepting new patients. You may schedule an appointment by calling 717-597-7708. The office of the Greencastle Eye Care Center is located in the John Grove Medical Center on Eastern Avenue. Greencastle Eye Care Center, a much appreciated supporter of WRGG.
Hi, JP McCartney, 93.7 WRGG. My show,
JP McCartney's ABC Oldies,
is on every Friday with the best of the 60s, 70s, and more. We've got a Beatles song every hour.
The Beatles!
And the classic countdown, too. Join me, JP McCartney, ABC Oldies, Friday on 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have mostly sunny skies, high around 57. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, low around 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated afternoon showers, high around 61. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers, low around 54. And Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
38 degrees, clear skies in downtown Greencastle as we speak, so that's a good thing. The humidity is sitting at 71%. The winds have settled down since last night. 7 miles per hour was the recent gust. There was a 32 mile per hour gust overnight. So, yeah, the wind was blowing once again, which is really not that unusual for us here in this area lately. Anyway, I should say it that way. Again, the record high for today, 84 degrees, 1978, 9 degrees, 1923, 35 to 57 is your average temperatures for today. 6:54 in the AMs when the sun will come up, 7:35 in the PMs when it'll set. 12 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. Again, the temperature is sitting at 38 degrees at 93.7 WRGG and on the web at WRGG.org. Good morning, everyone. I'm Greg Hoover along with Bill Gore. The expectation of Chris Palladino and Jason Kabler coming up here at the 8 o'clock hour or 7 o'clock hour. Chris Ardinger at 8 o'clock as we get ready to, do a new thing. We're going to we picked our top 10 songs And from that top 10 songs, we're going to play one every week. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You get the deal. And we're going to listen to it. Now, it's not an April Fool's joke. We are actually going to play music on the morning show. It's the one big request we always had. Could you guys play more music? We don't play any. That's what I mean. More music. So
Talk less.
Talk less, play more. Come on. So we're going to do a little bit of that. We'll hopefully have some fun with that as we move through the day. So let's just wait and see how that plays out. And that's coming up at 7 o'clock. All right. We're going to get into the birthday club. After we get out of the birthday club, that's when we're going to review my trip to Charlottesville, Virginia, and that's coming up. Rhonda went along too, so it wasn't just my trip, but that along with that one. So here's what's happened today. New research out shows that college students remember better if they take lecture notes by hand rather than a computer. Now, if we can only find a kid who actually knows how to use a pencil, I think we'll have that squared away. But I found that to be true too. In my college days, I used to take notes by hand. Then I go home and type them out so I could read them. But I had to do it right away because I wouldn't be able to read it after that.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's actually an old tried and true technique.
It is.
Yeah, take notes in class, then go home and either rewrite them or type them.
Yes,
Right.
and it seems to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a terrible story. In Poland, a woman stabbed their boyfriend because he was eating all the chip dip.
No.
Well, he was double dipping. So justifiable, I think, to a certain degree. I think it is. Here's a new report. I'll let you know who it comes from. Eating chocolate daily is good for your heart. That report from the Easter Bunny, by the way. So I think we're good. Okay. All right. Research has found that 2% of nose pickers do it for the enjoyment. My feeling is if you want to pick noses, fine. Just warn me before you stick your finger up mine. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Have you ever seen somebody and like they just don't even realize
they don't know they're doing it?
Yeah. Or they don't realize people see them.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I love that.
See that a lot of
buddy,
cars.
you're picking your nose.
Yeah,
It is. Because you somehow, when you're in the car, because you're singing and doing all the things that you do in the car, and you think no one else can see you.
Exactly, right.
There are windows. I know there may be tinted, but I don't know. Oh, my. Study found that having too much of the good kind of cholesterol can lead to an early death.
What?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Good kind of cholesterol. So does this mean I can now say that I'm eating this cheeseburger only for medicinal purposes?
Exactly.
I'm
Yes,
trying to
balance
lower my
things
good.
out. Exactly,
Trying to get it down there.
I don't know. I don't know, Greg. It's just
what can you
stuff's
eat? What can you
constantly
do?
changing.
I
And
know.
I remember one time. Like I remember, eggs are really good for you. Then the eggs are going to kill you. Then they're good for you again. You know, it's like,
they almost killed me once.
Yeah.
I caught an egg right in the middle of the head. It wasn't. It was just a raw egg. Oh my! Study out of Canada, Bill, says that people responding to a fear of being lonely will stay in a bad relationship.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, nothing says I love you like a shared fear of solitude. Right?
That's actually understandable.
Well, and it's one of the reasons why I'll never break up with Netflix. Okay, now here, this one goes. This is just what you're saying. Sleep goes back and forth. The study found that sleeping too much is just as bad for your health as sleeping too little. However, you do make a much better looking corpse when you sleep too much. I think that's the whole thing of it there. So I don't know. I don't know if I sleep enough, too much, not enough. It depends on the day.
I don't sleep enough.
I don't
then
sleep
I try
enough.
to make up for it on the weekend.
Yeah, I know. And that never works either.
Yeah.
That never, ever works anyway. But let's go back to our favorite subject of this last bunch of research, and that is the nose-picking thing.
Yes, of course.
It is gross, but here's the good news. Researchers conclude that nose-picking does not create problems for the average person. Among their findings, 66% of pickers do it to relieve discomfort or itchiness. Okay. Only 2% do it for enjoyment, as we said before.
Of course, yes.
65% use the index finger. I know. Who got to do this this study? And where do you go to find nose pickers? Is there a club that you go to? I don't know. 65 use the index finger, 20% the little finger, 16.4% the thumb.
The thumb?
The thumb.
How do you even get up there?
You got to have a big nostril or a small thumb. I'm not sure which it is. One of the two. Speaking who has both a big nostril and a what was the other word? Big nostril, big thumb. Yeah.
Birthday club, the birthday club. Everybody celebrates the birthday club on WRGG.
We're starting back in 1883 with the birth of Lon Chaney. By the way, his first name was Leonidas. He was an actor, makeup artist, director, screenwriter. Appeared in films like The Phantom of the Opera, London After Midnight, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. His nickname was the Man of 1,000 Faces. Yes, his skill with makeup. Gordon Jump, born this day in 1932. Actor, of course, with WKRP.
Oh, yeah.
Arthur Carlson. He was also the police chief on Soap. And you might remember a very special Different Strokes where he was the creepy neighbor.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Ruined my image of him.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was also, of course, the Maytag repairman from 1989 to 2003. Debbie Reynolds, born this day in 1932 as Mary Frances Reynolds, singer, actress and mother of actress Carrie Fisher. She had a career which spanned nearly 70 years. Films include The Three Little Words, Singing in the Rain, Tammy and the Bachelor from 1957, and the theme song Tammy went to #1 on Billboard. Phil Necro, born this day in 1939, baseball pitcher, of course known for his knuckleball, had 121 wins after the age of 40, with a total of 318 wins at the end of his career. 24 seasons, 20 of them with the Milwaukee and Atlanta Braves. He was a 5-time National League Gold Glove winner and inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1997. Ronnie Lane, born this day in 1946, producer, singer, bass player, Small Faces and Faces, inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. Was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1977, died in 1997 at the age of 51. Of course, gave us songs like Ooh La La, All or Nothing, Itchy Coo Park. Jimmy Cliff, born this day in 1948, Jamaican ska and reggae singer, inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010. He actually received the Order of Merit, which is the highest honor.
He won!
Yes, given by the Jamaican government for achievements in the arts and sciences. Songs include Wonderful World, Beautiful People, The Harder They Come, and a cover of Cat Stevens' Wild World. Rachel Maddow, born this day in 1973, broadcast journalist, hosts the Rachel Maddow Show on MSNBC. She actually won a Grammy in 2021 for Best Spoken Word Album for her book, Blowout. Magdalena Malieva, born this day in 1975. She's a tennis player from Bulgaria. Actually has 10 career singles titles. But she's actually an Armenian by nationality. Her family found refuge in Bulgaria after the 1896 massacre in the Ottoman Empire. And Hillary Scott, born this day in 1984, country singer with Lady Antebellum. Of course, they've been known as Lady A since 2020. She's the daughter of Linda Davis, singer and songwriter. She did Does He Love You? With
Reba McEntire. I did not know that.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Songs include Need You Now, Just a Kiss, and I Run to You. As a solo artist, she released Love Remains, 2016, a gospel album she recorded with her family. She's also recorded with Luke Bryan, Maroon 5, and Dave Barnes. But, Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do, and here they are for today. B.J. Peck's having a birthday today. An amazing story about B.J. I've known him for a long, long time, and now we're related.
Oh, wow.
We weren't before, but we are now. Marriage will do that, you know?
Yes,
so
indeed.
Happy birthday to B.J. Dustin Swope has a birthday today. Jenny Lewis is celebrating one. Randy Coons has a birthday today. Man, he's got to be 80, 85, at least, I think. But then he's younger than I am. I don't know. Tommy Tutone Isolt having a birthday as well. Chad Reichert, I believe that's our state representative, having a birthday today. And Doug Kay, who's brother of John Kay of Steppenwolf. No, Doug Kay. Haven't seen Doug in a long time. Happy birthday, Doug. So BJ, Dustin, Jenny, Randy, Tommy, Chad, Doug, all having birthdays today on April Fools. That's a tough one, isn't it?
Indeed.
That's a tough one to have one on April Fool's, but it happens. So happy birthday to all of them. If you have a birthday you'd like to study. It's real celebrate. It's real easy. Send it to studio Well, actually, just go to our webpage, fill out the information there. We're getting there. We're getting there with all that stuff. Slowly but surely. It's an operation, that is for sure. It's the Birthday Club. We'll do it before the 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock news coming up here on WRGG. Greg and Bill with you. Thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you had a good day yesterday. I was recovering from a trip we took over the weekend. I almost hate to say this, Bill, but I'm taking another trip this weekend. We're going down to Lewes, Delaware to see some good friends, Bob and Peggy Kreider, and then we're doing that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Friday after the show we'll leave, and we'll be back. I don't know when we're getting back, but I think it's Monday. So I'll be out Monday again, but that's no surprise to anybody that's been listening recently. However, we went to Charlottesville with the express purpose of going to see Brooks and Dunn in concert, and it was at the John Paul Jones arena, where, of course, the University of Virginia plays basketball. I think that's named after the lead singer of Led Zeppelin. I don't know. But a nice venue. They have what they...
Actually, he was in the British Navy.
Yes, he was.
But yeah, okay, you know that.
I know. That was a joke, Bill.
Yes,
it was a joke, Bill.
Fought for the Americans.
Yeah. So Rhonda really wanted to see Brooks and Dunn, so she got me that for a birthday present. But and for those guys coming out, they're really, really good, and
that's right. For her birthday, you got her a bowling ball that said Greg.
Yeah, I did. It's and a shirt to go along with it. And I don't know. Oh, where was I? Oh, so we went down there. I will say this: that's not a bad drive. It's only about 3-hour drive. You tend to think it's way down there, but it's 81 straight down. Then you catch 64 over to Charlottesville, and there you are. So it was a nice time had by all. We stayed at a very nice hotel. We explored the area. We did get to see most of the campus, all the campus. That was pretty nice. We want to go back down again sometime. Now, the only two bugaboos in the whole thing, and they weren't Rhonda's fault, and I felt bad for Rhonda for this one. Her favorite song of Brooks and Dunn is the song called I Believe.
Yes, great song.
Yes, it's a great song. And so they didn't do it. She always likes to leave before the encore, and I force her to stay for the encore because they always come back and play their best songs. They came back and play Boot, Scoot, and Boogie for crying out loud.
Oh, wow. They say that for the encore.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So, and Only in America.
Okay, yeah.
Or Living in America, whichever it is. Yeah. And, but they did not play, I believe. I don't like you guys anymore.
Did she say that? I can see that. Yes. I can imagine
I can't
that.
believe you're not playing that song. Rhonda, they didn't put you in charge of the set list, did they? They didn't ask that question.
Hey, well, as I mentioned to you when we were texting about it, I saw Chris Christopherson twice, and neither time did he do Lovin' Her Was Easier.
Yeah, I know.
So I was like, wow, how do you not do that?
Well, she kept saying, if the Beatles were performing, they would do something, wouldn't they? They would do something, the song something.
Right.
We got a lot of songs. You got to pick.
Exactly. You got to pick. Exactly.
Got to pick through them. I don't know. And then we found a parking garage near the place. We left a little later. We had driven over and seen it, got back. By the time we got changed, it was probably 7 o'clock. The first act went on. The second act was David Lee Murphy.
Oh, wow.
Who was excellent.
I love David Lee Murphy.
Yes, and he did his. But the big thing about David Lee Murphy, he writes a lot of songs for other people.
Yes, he does.
Jason Aldean, and he played those songs, too.
Wow.
So you're like, I didn't know he wrote that type of thing. So that was really good. And
Party Crowd is just a great song.
I love that crowd. Yeah. They're dancing over there and fighting over there. Yeah. So, but Rhonda says, you know that song? Oh, yeah, I know that song.
Yes.
But and like I said, Brooks and Dunn really good. I didn't realize Kix Brooks sang as much of the songs that he did. I thought Ronnie Dunn sang all the songs. But then we get back to the parking garage. So when we went there, I looked to reserve it before, but I didn't know if we were going to park there or not, so I didn't. So you drive right in. There's no tickets. There's nothing like that. And so we went up. There was no parking space either. So we went up to the 4th floor. I think there's one above us. We got there. The concert got over at a little before, maybe 11:15. We walked over, and we were in the car at 11, and in line to get out at 11, and we did not move until 12:15.
Wow.
It took an hour and 15 minutes for them to, I don't know why, because once we started moving, It took 2 minutes to go around the loops and down and out. And there wasn't anybody taking tickets or stopping us. Maybe they just said, we feel bad for you guys, go on.
Right,
and
right.
Rhonda thinks we're going to get a $500 ticket here somewhere along the line because we did not get a ticket. But that was the only bugaboo that we had. And like I said, it's a great concert. Always wanted to see Brooks and Dunn. Got to see them. They were very good. Big band they had with them. And the arena's pretty cool. It's one of those arenas with, if you go to Hershey, and I was at Hershey Thursday and Friday watching basketball, and on Friday my family went. I had a lot of fun with that. My grandson Brody, and he took a friend Greer Barkdahl, and Casey and Sam went, and we had a great time. 4 games, but that place, the upper deck is not. It goes back at a what I want to say, a shorter slope, but down there it's straight up. Like if I fell, I was going on the stage, and I was up in the second story there with it. But they were good seats, and can't really complain about it. So yeah, it was nice. Like I said, no major conflicts coming from my wife and I did not have. Again, I think sometimes we spend too much time in the car, but that's I don't know how you can avert that at times. So anyway, that's where we're at on that one. It was a nice trip. So hey, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm just spitballing here. Can any of you guys hear me on the one Zoom? Just say yes if you can. I can't hear them, so maybe they can. Try experimenting here today with that. So, well, we're going to work on some things, see what we can come up with here. But we promise you, the Zoom brothers will be here with us right after the news, one way or the other.
3.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump says there will be $5 trillion in U.S. investments after his tariffs take effect on Wednesday. The new reciprocal tariffs are set to take effect against Canada, Mexico, China, and the European Union.
Because that word reciprocal is very important. What they do to us, we do to them.
The White House says that will undo decades of those powers, in their words, taking advantage of the U.S. The tariffs are mainly targeted at car and car parts manufactured outside the U.S. Voters in Wisconsin and Florida will be heading to the polls in what's being seen as a national political power struggle. Today in Wisconsin, there's a state Supreme Court election, and Florida voters will decide 2 pivotal vacant House seats that could help to shift the balance of power nationally.
This election comes down to whether the people who voted for President Trump in November are going to come out today.
That's Republican State Senator Randy Fine on Orlando's Fox 35. He's opposed by Democrat Josh Wheel in the race for Florida's 6th congressional district. Both parties have poured millions of dollars into each state, looking at the races as referendums on the direction of the country since Donald Trump's election. Accused killer Karen Reed's second murder trial begins in Massachusetts today with what is expected to be the long process of jury selection. Reed is accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her SUV and leaving him to die outside a house in Canton during a snowstorm in 2022. Forecasters have some bad news for those with seasonal allergies. Pollen counts will be higher than usual across much of the U.S. this year. More from Jesse Kirsch.
Research from Climate Central suggests climate change is fueling these increasingly tough conditions. As the earth warms and spring gets longer, plants have more time to grow. That means earlier pollen releases plus more spring blooms.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Till the weather outside makes up its mind, you can depend on Premier HVAC services to keep you comfortable inside. For sales, installation, same-day and 24-hour emergency services, Premier is your local heating and air conditioning professionals with free estimates, price match guarantee, 717-597-9900, and online at premierhvacpa.com.
All Well, the birds are chirping, days are warming, and more daylight each day. Yes, it's the perfect time to stock up on all your spring planting needs. Lumberdirect has onion sets and a wide variety of vegetable packets. Everything to ensure a bountiful, beautiful garden. Lumberdirect has mulch, bagged and bulked. There's everything you'll need for spring cleanup in the home and out in the yard. There's a great array of quality Vaspar paints, perfect for any job, indoor or outside. Lumberdirect, 10 East Water Avenue in Greencastle. Lumberdirect, a proud sponsor of WRGG and many other Greencastle Antrim community projects.
Proudly supporting WRGG, ELM Department Store has been your local source for quality men and women's clothing, specializing in big and tall sizes for men. ELM Department Store has been providing personalized clothing solutions to customers.
Learning to ski can be hard.
And
Switching to H&R Block, now that's easy. Just drag and drop last year's tax return and your info will automatically upload. Switch to H&R Block today.
Pennsylvania.
Saving money feels right, just like when things are packed tidy and tight. Get auto insurance that fits your budget and your needs. Save up to 10% when you bundle auto and renter's insurance. Get a quote today.
At WRGG.org. Local high school sports broadcasts are brought to you by Henry's Flooring, 11825 Molly Pitcher Highway, Premier Kitchen and Bath, 11647 Molly Pitcher Highway, Antrim Insurance Agency, 169 South Antaway, Greencastle, 1685 East Main Street in Owensboro, Franklin Veterinary Associates, 2380 West, a did my best to write and sing. Greencastle you know Notary Services, 38 East Baltimore Street, benefit of hindsight of life. Not I had the fist fight that night. I made a family, I made friends, made a mess, but... And Lizzie's Restaurant, 2753 Buchanan Trail West. The only station around bringing you high school play-by-play action, and it happens right here on your local Sports Connection, 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have mostly sunny skies, high around 57. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, low around 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated afternoon showers, high around 61. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers, low around 54. And Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently, it is 38 degrees with the humidity around 65%. Record high for the day, 84 degrees back in 1978. 9 degrees in 1923, the record low. Average temps for today between 35 and 57 degrees. 6:54 in the a.m., that's what time the sun will come up. 7:35 in the p.m., that's where it will set tonight. Again, 38 degrees, clear skies at 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG 93.7. And on the web at WRGG.org. And now, here is the morning show.
Welcome back, hour number 2 of the morning show. 7 o'clock hour, Tuesday. It is April the 1st. Joining us from parts unknown, Chris Palladino and Jason.
Good morning.
Butler. Good morning, Jason.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. So here we are. It's a new Tuesday. And this is our Tuesday thingamabob. I don't know what the title of it is. I don't. We never really had a title for this. We just like
today's our top 10 songs.
Yeah, so it's like that's
number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different thing each time.
Yeah.
You know, we did the Desert Island Disc. Now we're doing our top 10 songs. Yeah.
Top 10 songs.
Yep.
Take us into June. Take us up to our 9th anniversary, just about. So, hey, you guys, I got a new hat.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went over to Lids in the Valley Mall yesterday, which is about the first time I've been in the Valley Mall for a decade. I don't know. But I said, I need a hat like this. Can you do it? And like 20 minutes later, he handed me the hat. So,
nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did custom work there.
I did not know either, and that quickly. So
it's not custom. They have a bunch of those back in the back room.
The WRGG has, because people are coming in all the time wanting those things. So
well, they ordered a bunch, you know, thinking
it might work out.
It might catch on.
Yeah, I know. So guys, are
kids wearing them out of sense of irony.
Are any of you two April Foolists?
My favorite April Fool's joke was one time I was over on 107X in Hagerstown on the air, and for 6 hours I gave the wrong time, the wrong temperature, the wrong artist, the wrong title of the song. Everything I said was wrong. And people called like crazy. It was like the phones just lit up.
Did you just
and
answer?
just out of coincidence, he did mushrooms about an hour before his shift.
Did you just answer the phone? April's Fool, or you just explain it to him then? Yeah.
Well, some of them called to say that, I finally got the joke.
Yeah.
And then other ones were confused, and I just said, what day is it?
Yeah.
I get it now.
Jason, are you an April Foolist?
Nah, I hated it.
Okay. Wow. Oh, thanks for that.
That was
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
I can remember that one time. This is the only one I remember in life. My grandfather, who we lived with, got me up to go to. I got up to go to school, and I came down. He says, "No school today. It snowed outside." And I said, "You can't get me on that. I know it's April Fool." He opened the door. It had snowed outside. No school that day. Doggone it! I thought I had him, but I didn't. But I know it's. I was going to come on and say congratulations, WRGG. We have just been awarded 50,000 watts. We can broadcast on the air, but people would be upset when they found out that it wasn't even close. So. Yeah.
Would they really?
No.
Well, free people would.
Well, somebody might. I don't know. Anyway, that being said, here we go. Now, I think, Chris, you came up with this idea. Am I correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You want to explain your artistic thought that went into this? No.
Well, we were just, kind of brainstorming for another idea, and I just thought it would be... And, we didn't necessarily cover it in our Desert Island Discs.
No, we did not.
Because songs and singles are definitely different. So I'm going to try to not to focus on the same groups, but other songs and artists maybe that influenced me.
Well, I'm not sure how I can not influence myself with the same ones, because that's where some of my favorite songs have come from, and mine are somewhat predictable when the time comes. So I just want to state that. So by the way, Chris, how was Saturday night?
Saturday night was really good. We saw Bill was there, and Mike and Mary, and Bill and his sons were there.
Good.
Elisa Parsons was there.
Oh, excellent.
Did Charlie tip you a dime?
He didn't tip me at all. No,
he tipped me a nice shiny dime once.
There was some money in the tip bucket, and I have no idea where it came from. I did not see who did that.
Oh, okay.
So it
I never see you.
Charlie could have put a $20 bill in there.
No. Cancel that out right away.
If there was any chain like coins,
loose coins, pennies, whatever he has sitting around the house, but that's
somebody put a 20 in there.
Ooh, well, we know it wasn't Mike Bach.
Could have been Mary,
because there was originally 60 in there, and Mike took 40 out. That's how.
When I saw David and Gail as well, I asked her how it was. She says he's been missing himself.
Yeah. It's a shame he didn't come down.
Maybe.
Your dad put on pants.
Yeah, danced naked in the crowd there. So, all right, very good. I'm glad it was a good time. Sorry we missed it, but
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, Jason, okay, you start this off. I have your song queued up whenever you're ready to go. You want to?
Yeah, my number 10 is MacArthur Park. No, April Fools. No, my number 10, guys, is, once again, I'm like you, Greg. You're going to hear several repeats in my list just because these are my favorite musicians. My number 10 is the Bare Naked Ladies. It's a song off their, not current album, but their last album, and it's a song called Good Life. And it's a great song because it really talks about, it goes through about their career. You hear them talking about One Week, which was their biggest hit, and then you hear them talking about The Big Bang Theory, which basically shot them into orbit. And so if you listen to the words, this is a story about their career.
Okay, here's a question, guys. Do we turn the mics off, or are we going to talk over the song, or we're just going to listen? I mean, when I say talk, is Jason going to say, now here's my favorite part coming up?
No. I'm not going to. I mean, you can leave the mics on. I don't plan on saying anything.
Okay. All right.
I agree.
Here we go.
I'm grateful, had the gatefold, stayed so platinum. Everywhere I'm at, sun arenas to the rafters, laughter, happily ever after. Now I'm sat here, looking back there. 1 week was a high peak on the hot streak. Wasn't even funny, made money by the ton. We could have packed it up, then we had a big bang. Now after 3 decades, it's still a good hang. It's a good life. Reliving that dream every night. We ain't gonna get another. Brothers and sisters, you don't wanna live no other. It's a good life. Wasn't easy, but it turned out alright. Wouldn't trade it for another. Brothers and sisters, you don't wanna miss this mother.
There you go. All right, very good. That's a great song. I like that.
Yes, indeed. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
excellent. It's upbeat, makes you smile.
Yeah,
that's
all we're going
I
for
like
in life.
songs with a positive message.
I do too.
Well, that's going to be you'll see that as basically all 10 of my songs are going to be that.
Mine aren't all that, but some of mine just make me feel good, and that's all. That's okay. Well, Rich Bateman and I used to have that argument all the time. Chris, you appreciate this. His songs, he didn't like anything that was poppy because, well, where's the message? Where's the story? Where's the protest or whatever the case may be? Music doesn't have to do that. It can make you feel good.
I like a song that makes me feel something.
Makes me feel something.
Even if it makes me feel sad, it makes me feel something.
Makes me feel something. But, that was the argument we had. But no one won because we didn't change each other's mind on that one. So. All right, Chris.
All valid points.
Yes.
My song it comes from 1971. It's a Canadian band, the Five-Man Electrical Band. They were led by Les Emerson, who was a guitar player, singer-songwriter, who had earlier hits in Canada with a band called the Staccatos.
Okay.
And I love the lyrics to this song. When it came out in 1971, I was 10 years old. And I was this kid who carried around a transistor radio with him everywhere he went. And from the little speakers in that transistor radio, I hear lyrics about love and peace and tolerance of other people. Other people who are not necessarily like you are.
Yep.
And it taught me in my 11-year-old, 10-year-old mind that it was okay to grow your hair long. It was okay to let your freak flag fly as long as you didn't hurt anybody. Everything was cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
So there's three very distinctive verses of the song that all carry those messages, and that's my intro for it. The Five-Man Electrical Band.
Here we go.
And the sign said, long-haired freaky people need not apply. So I tucked my hair up under my hat and I went in to ask him why. He said, you look like a fine, upstanding young man. I think you do. So I took off my hat. I said, imagine that, me working for you. Whoa, sign, sign, everywhere a sign, blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the The sign said anybody caught trespassing would be shot on sight. So I jumped on the fence and I yelled at the house, hey, what gives you the right to put up a fence to keep me out or to keep Mother Nature in? If God was here, he'd tell you to your face, man, you're some kind of sinner. Sign, sign, everywhere a sign, blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign? Now hey you, mister, can't you read? You got to have a shirt and tie to get a seat. You can't even watch, no, you can't eat. You ain't supposed to be here. Sign said you got to have a membership card to get inside. And the sign said, everybody welcome, come in, kneel down and pray. But when they passed around the plate at the end of it all, I didn't have a penny to pay. So I got me a pen and a paper, and I made up my own little sign. I said, thank you, Lord, for thinking about me. I'm alive and doing fine. Woo! Sign, sign, everywhere a sign, blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign? Sign, sign, everywhere a sign.
All right. Yeah, you know, here's the amazing thing. I knew every word.
Absolutely. Yep.
How do I do that?
The song is timeless. A couple of things to note. I remember at the morning show after dark, Chris performed that, ironically, in acoustic.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yes, you did. Five-man, non-electrical band.
Yes.
Well, one-man electrical band.
When they first formed as the Staccatos, the lead singer was a guy named Dean Hagopian. When he left the band, he was replaced by Emerson. He went on to become a DJ. In fact, he was on CJFM up in Montreal when I was growing up.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, that's always the fallback job.
Yeah, it's
rock and
exactly,
roll
yes.
people. Look at Chris. Look at Jason.
Yeah, it's part of my story in radio. I love songs like that bring me back to those moments when I was listening.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
And that's a great song. And we're 2 for 2 with Canadian singers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Guess what? Mine's Canadian as well.
Is it?
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
That's not going to work for me. So, Bill, you're up.
Yes, indeed. Mine is Lord, I Need You by Matt Maher. Came out 2013. It was on his album All the People Said Amen. Everybody thought...
Amen.
Exactly. He's Canadian. In fact, when we saw him in concert, he actually was on my list of 5 favorite concerts. And he actually mentioned to the crowd he was from Canada, asked if everybody else was, and I yelled out I was.
Yeah.
And then everybody laughed. He goes, I take that guy with me everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's good. Bill's man boy.
Yes, exactly. But he's actually from Nova Scotia. The interesting thing is, he kind of came on the scene thanks to this song, but a lot of people didn't realize it was actually his 7th album. It's one of those, the classic stories, how it took years to become an overnight success. And it's such a beautiful song, and it speaks to me in terms of my faith. But the other thing, too, is I've long lamented the fact that so much, as a friend of mine who's actually a youth minister said, so much Christian media sucks. And but there's been this kind of like renaissance in terms of the music in the last few years. And I think he spearheaded a big part of that. Lauren Daigle's part of that. Zach Williams is part of that for King and Country and so on. And I just think it's a beautiful song. And a lot of what you were saying, Chris, about Five Electrical Band, I like the spiritual themes in it as well. And this song, of course, speaks to that. It also reminds me of the words of St. Augustine who said, our heart is restless until it rests in you. Now, there you go.
There you go. All right, let's hear it. Here we go.
Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here, I find my rest. Without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Where sin runs deep, your grace is more. The grace is found, is where you are. Where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Temptation comes my way. When I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. Jesus, you're my hope and stay. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
about that.
That's all right.
Nice.
There you go.
Did
Lord,
you
I need
forget
you.
the mic was on?
No.
The Greg Hoover remix. You got Dr. Luke, then you got Dr. Hoover.
Yeah, that's right. I loop them all together. There you go, Bill. Very good. I like that song. I like that song. So here's mine. Not going to be any surprise that one of the might have been one of the bands that took along. I don't remember, but it's their second single off their third LP. They came out in 1973, peaked at 17, was 76 for the year. It was also featured in that classic movie, Semi-Pro, which, by the way, is hilarious.
The basketball documentary.
Yes, it is. It is. Quiet. What's the name of the Precious?
Precious the bear.
Precious.
Yes.
Everybody remain quiet. But this had nothing to do with it. It is as one of my favorite bands, but it's not a really big popular band as some of the other ones are, but it's Tower of Power.
Nice.
Great story, great horns in it, and it's so very hard to go. So,
in one of the earliest iterations of the All-Star Band, they were actually part of it.
Were they? Yes, that's right, they were.
The time when Dave Edmonds was in it as well.
Yeah. So here they are, Tower of Power.
Ain't nothing I can say, nothing I can do. I feel so bad, yeah. I feel so blue. I got to make it right for everyone concerned. Even if it's me, if it means just me, what's getting burned? 'Cause I could never make you unhappy. No, I couldn't do that, girl. Only wish I didn't love you so. Makes it so very hard to go. Cause I love you so. I love you so.
I forgot we're videoing this out. And
No, this is awesome.
I knew the time would come. I'd have to pay for my mistake. I can't blame you for what you're doing to me, girl. Even though my heart aches. Your dreams have all come true, just the way you planned them. So I'll just step aside. I'm gonna step aside and lend a helping hand then. 'Cause I could never make you unhappy. No, I couldn't do that, girl. Only wish I could love you so. Makes it so very hard to go. 'Cause I love you so. I love you so. I could never make you unhappy. No, I couldn't do that, girl. Only wish I didn't love you so. Makes it so very hard to go. So very hard to go. 'Cause I love you so. I love you so. And it ain't easy to walk away when a man loves somebody.
even has a great ending.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I love that
That
song.
was phenomenal.
Love that
Yeah.
song.
Hey, you know what, Greg? If you don't put that in rotation on WRGG, I will.
Well, go ahead.
That is a great song. And as soon as it got to the chorus, I remembered it.
I don't know why in the world it's not. It's not in there. Now that you mention it, because I looked for it, and it's a top 100 song for the year, and it's a great
It belongs
song.
there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was almost as good as choreography.
Well, I think you can. After we're off the air, you can go back and see that one. Oh, there it is. So very hard to go. I didn't know I had it. We had it, but we did.
Is it in there?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I don't remember ever hearing that in rotation. I must have missed it.
You know, every now and then that happens to me. A song will come on. I'm going, I didn't know we were playing that. And we should be, but I didn't know we were playing that. Yeah. So sometimes I guess I just don't hear all the songs.
Sometimes I'm surprised in a good way, and sometimes I'm surprised in a bad way.
Yeah. Now,
I like my car part.
You know, I forgot that this one should have been on my list of worst songs ever. This is going to take us out to the bottom of the hour and into the news, by the way. But it's one of those songs like, huh? But nevertheless, guys, thanks for being here. Tomorrow, it is our top fantasy bands, right?
Yeah,
well, not fantasy
fictional,
bands, fictional bands,
Right.
bands. Yeah, I've started on the. I have that list done, and I'm quite pleased with my list with that. So we'll do that tomorrow. Jason, you done with all the bad weather down there?
Yes. And I have 12 more hours until the fun ends and Carrie gets home.
Carrie's coming home. Imaginary Carrie returns. Yeah. So, all righty.
No, but real quick, we do have bad weather still coming. I know, right? This is probably a really sick April Fool's joke, and she's never coming back. That's why I hate it.
Yeah, she did say something to me about that. But hey, by the way, that wasn't April Fool's. You heard the music on the morning show. That was just, we're doing our top 10 songs. That's my number 10. That's their number 10. Next week we'll do, guess what? Number 9. And here's the song that should have made our list.
Number 9.
The typewriter song.
Nice. Yes.
Leroy Anderson made a hit out of this. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But,
As
all
heard
right,
on
guys.
Jackie at the mic.
What's that?
As heard on Jackie at the mic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
That needs to go in rotation, man.
Yeah. It is.
It is.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Ah, my. Anyway, we're going to break for the news. Guys, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Chris Ardinger coming up at 8 o'clock here on the morning show. And Stupid Is and Stupid Does is coming up next. Don't go away. We'll be right back. 93.7 WRGG.
3.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Serving Greencastle, Antrim, and southern Franklin County. This is WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Nearly $9 billion worth of Harvard University contracts are under review by the feds over the school's handling of anti-Semitism. Departments of Education, Health and Human Services, and the U.S. General Services Administration are conducting the review. Education Secretary Linda McMahon said the school failed to protect students from anti-Semitic discrimination and promoted what she claims are divisive ideologies. President Trump says the U.S. can expect to see $5 trillion in investments after his tariffs are enacted. On Wednesday, new reciprocal tariffs are set to be imposed on Canada, Mexico, China, and the European Union. Gruesome details of Gene Hackman's death will not be made public. Brian Shook reports.
A judge in New Mexico has denied the release of certain court records that show the bodies of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, at the request of the couple's estate. The records also included an autopsy report.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Franklin Hospice, a nonprofit provider of hospice care and end-of-life services, has been licensed in Pennsylvania and is now open to serve patients and their families. This organization also operates Hospice of Washington County, which has built a trusted reputation of quality caring for over 40 years. The team at Franklin Hospice consists of nurses, social workers, CNAs, chaplains, volunteers, and bereavement staff. They will work with the hospice physician and the patient's primary physician to offer a number of services, including managing the patient's pain, pain and symptoms, assisting the patient with the emotional, psychological, and spiritual effects of dying, providing needed medications, supplies, and equipment, coaching the family and caregivers how to care for the patient, and providing bereavement care and counseling to surviving family and friends. Franklin Hospice is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide support. For more information, call 717-504-3465 or visit franklinhospice.org, a nonprofit organization.
This is a Radio PA news update. Pennsylvania officials are urging SNAP recipients to change their EBT card pins before monthly benefits are distributed. The Department of Human Services and the Office of the State Inspector General warn that thieves often target cards right after payments are made. Card skimming has been reported nationwide, with criminals stealing benefit information and waiting until distribution day to strike. DHS Secretary Valerie Kush advises checking card readers for skimming devices and changing pins monthly. State Inspector General Michelle Henry reports that agents have already removed skimmers from grocery stores across Pennsylvania. The Trump administration has launched a review of federal contracts with Harvard University as part of its crackdown on anti-Semitism. 3 federal agencies will scrutinize $255.6 million in contracts and $8.7 billion in grants, citing concerns over campus discrimination. Critics argue that this is a political move targeting pro-Palestinian voices following similar actions against Columbia University. Harvard has faced backlash over student protests criticizing Israel's actions in Gaza, with activists rejecting claims that their demonstrations are anti-Semitic. A group of advocacy organizations filed a lawsuit on Monday against President Trump's recent executive order aimed at overhauling the U.S. election system. The lawsuit claims that the order, which includes measures like proof of citizenship for voter registration and stricter mail-in voting deadlines, exceeds Trump's presidential authority and threatens voting rights. Filed in D.C. federal court, the lawsuit seeks to block parts of the order and force administration to rescind related guidance. Trump's order directs federal agencies to enforce stricter election regulations and penalize non-compliant states. Police are investigating a shooting at Reading City Park, which occurred just before 4:30 p.m. on Monday on a basketball court near Washington and North 11th Streets. 2 people are injured, one shot in the chest and the other in the neck, while one victim was transported to the hospital in a personal vehicle. The motives of the shooting remain unclear. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Right here in hometown Greencastle, you'll find always fresh, home-style salads made the way you like, prepared locally in their very own kitchen. That's Branded Meats and Deli, 102 South Antrim Way in Greencastle. Macaroni, potato, redskin potato, cream slaw, coleslaw, and others. Looking for something for lunch or enough for the entire family's evening meal? You'll find it all at Brandon Meats and Deli. Having a special event, Brandon offers a large catering menu with a wide variety of options, including setup and serving your guests. They are open Mondays 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., Tuesday through Friday 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., and Saturday 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Brandon Meats, helping to support the programming of WRGG.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. It's the 1st of the month. Yep, April 1st. You know what that is, don't you? Hey, coming up, another Easter egg hunt to tell you about. Stand by. Sad news now from the Greencastle Police Department as they released this last night. Sunday, another person has died while riding an electric bicycle or e-bike. It happened on Ronald Drive off South Antrim Way in the development behind Antrim Way Honda. Greencastle police say the unidentified person was pronounced dead at the scene after EMS did their best to revive them. This comes after the death of 36-year-old Brandon Garrison of Hagerstown, who was killed last Tuesday on Longmeadow Drive in Hagerstown while riding an e-bike which collided with an SUV. Our condolences to family and friends of both victims. Yesterday, the Washington County Board of Commissioners announced that their countywide burn ban will remain in effect. They will continue to monitor weather conditions and reevaluate this Friday, April 4th. All outdoor burning is prohibited. That includes campfires, open fire pits, burning of debris and brush, agricultural burns, and that's the same as it is here in Greencastle Borough, Antrim Township, and Washington Township. All those burn bans remain in effect. So cool your jets and wait till conditions get better. In other news, Pennsylvania State Police are on the lookout for the Antrim Township chainsaw bandits. What? Over the last couple of weeks, multiple chainsaws have been stolen from Advanced Tree Solutions in Greencastle and another business. Crooks stole them right out of the company's trucks. Pennsylvania State Police believe the suspects are from the Mercersburg area. If you have any information, call the Pennsylvania State Police Chambersburg Barracks. A man from Mexico who was deported in 2019 was picked up at the end of last year during a DUI traffic stop in Franklin County. The United States Attorney's Office announced that 34-year-old Daniel Martinez Canjay of Mexico has now been indicted by a federal grand jury on a charge of illegal re-entry. Canjay's DUI case in Franklin County is pending as he awaits the deportation case. So remember I mentioned the Easter egg hunt coming up April 19th at Tayamenasakta. Well, if you don't want to wait that long, there's an Easter egg hunt right next door. It's an Easter egg hunt and fun run this Saturday from 1 to 3 at the Gale Center on Oak Hill Avenue in Hagerstown. The YMCA is a co-host for the event. No registration required. Just come on and have some Easter egg fun this Saturday. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
We at Tracy's Orchard would like to remind the community that we are now open year-round with our many varieties of apples, peaches, and other tree-ripened fruit. Tracy's Fruit is also available at Country Breeze on Route 11 in Marion, and will be pursuing other retail outlets. Tracy's Orchard, another proud sponsor of Community Radio WRGG.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
Monday's rain impacts the Blue Devil baseball team. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. The Blue Devil baseball team's game Monday afternoon at Spring Grove was postponed due to the afternoon wet weather. A makeup date has been tentatively set for Friday, May 9th, with the game being played in Greencastle. The Blue Devils will try again later today as they will be at home hosting Boiling Springs in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup. First pitch from Greencastle is set for 4:15, and the game will be broadcast live on WRGG 93.7 FM and streaming at midpennbroadcasting.com. Greg Hoover brings you all the action beginning with the pregame show, getting underway around 4 p.m. Also in action later today, the Blue Devil softball team as they will hit the road to face Boiling Springs. Head coach Mark DeCarli and the Blue Devils will be looking for their 5th consecutive win to start the season. This afternoon's game from Boiling Springs is scheduled to get underway at 4:30. Also in action this afternoon, the Blue Devil track and field teams as they return to action following a strong performance over the weekend at the Tim Cook Invitational in Chambersburg. The Blue Devil track and field athletes will be at home this afternoon hosting James Buchanan in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup. The Blue Devils and the Rockets are set to meet on the Cayley Field track beginning at 3:30 this afternoon. That's a look at sports for a Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
Are you born with destiny? Or does it just come knocking at your door?
There's a young singer from Memphis, Tennessee, Mr. Elvis Presley.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a big show, a real big shoot.
The best 2 hours of Elvis.
Every Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m.
And the replay Thursday nights at 10 p.m. on 93.7 WRGG.
Blue Suede Connection.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have mostly sunny skies, high around 57. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, low around 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated afternoon showers, high around 61. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers, low around 54. And Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently, it is 38 degrees, sun shining brightly in downtown Greencastle. Humidity up to 69% right now. Record high for today, 84 degrees, 1978. 9 degrees, 1923, the record low. The average temps for this time of the year, 35 to 57. We're at the low end of that. 6:54 in the a.m. That's when the sun did come up. 7:35 tonight's when it'll set. 12 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is 38 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
Stupid as stupid does, sir.
Mama says stupid as stupid does.
Stupid as stupid doesn't. Stupid as stupid does, sir. Stupid as stupid does, sir.
And people are crazy. Plenty of stupidity to go around. Yeah. Here we go. Number one today, an armed robber in his 60s broke his leg while holding up a convenience store in Japan. He then used the store's phone to call an ambulance. Police arrested the suspect when he was released from the hospital. Doesn't say how he broke it, which would have been a little bit more interesting to know that one. Number two, police in Germany broke down the door of a couple out of town on vacation because their neighbors complained that the sound of a rooster was coming out of their home between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. every night. Cops found a recording device with a timer set on a high volume with the speaker placed directly against the neighbor's wall. We might have done that one before, or maybe I just read it before. That's number two. Number three, I like this one too. After drunkenly crashing his car, leaving behind his prosthetic arm. Don't you think you might have thought to pick up your arm and take it with you? And I guess they can be identified through your prosthetic arm. Never had one, don't want one, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. Number four, Pennsylvania man, I think we talked about this before, was stopped by TSA at Newark Liberty International Airport after a body scammer alarm detected something unusual in his pants. During a pat-down, the TSA officer discovered a live turtle, approximately 5 inches long, wrapped in a blue towel in the man's groin area.
We were texting each other about that, and then somebody, I think it was it you or Scott Douglas said, thank goodness it wasn't a snapping turtle.
Not a snapper turtle. Yeah. Yes. Man identified turtle as a red ear slider, which I have no idea what a red ear slider would be. I think they just make those names up. The turtle was confiscated, and it remains unclear if it was a pet or why the man had it with him. Isn't there a better way to...
It's not a question why he had it with him. This is why he had it down his pants.
Well, that's true, too. Lots of answers. And number five, last one here today. A man in China was arrested after he emptied his 35th floor apartment by dropping his contents from the window. No one was injured by the falling objects. The man was upset because he had recently broken up with his girlfriend and was told to leave. And so with that, he just throws things out the window. Oh, my.
Oh, man.
Oh, my. So
reminds me of the movie Dirty Work. You ever see that with Norm Macdonald?
No.
The movie opens, he finds out that his girlfriend's kicking him out by throwing all the stuff out the window.
I might have seen that
but
one now as you mentioned.
He first realizes that when people walk by wearing his clothes, including his Montreal Canadiens jersey.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Here they are, review. Would-be robber breaks leg, calls an ambulance. Number two, they record the rooster and put it up against the wall. Drunk driver, number three, left his arm behind. Number four, man caught with live turtle in his pants. How many times does that happen? And number five, man empties apartment by dropping contents out the window. You can give us a call. Don't give us a call. Just text us, 717-444-WRGG, or send us an email at studio@wrgg.org, or text me as you sometimes do. We'll work it out that way. Chris Ardinger's with us. He'll have his pick, too, as well as
My
Bill.
understanding is prosthetic limbs have serial numbers on
That's what I mean. Yeah, you can identify them that way.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Or a tattoo.
Yeah, I think I've got mine picked out.
All right, let's. That being said, speaking of prosthetic arms, I don't know what I meant by that, but nevertheless.
Birthday Club, the Birthday Club. Everybody celebrates Birthday Club on WRGG.
Lon Chaney, born this day in 1883. Actually, his full name was Leonidas.
Really?
Like the King of Sparta, yeah.
I had that once, but a lot of antibiotics seem to take care of it. I don't know.
He was a makeup artist,
director,
screenwriter, actor. Of course, films like The Phantom of the Opera, London After Midnight, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was known as the Man of 1,000 Faces. Gordon Jump, born this day in 1932. Actor, known, of course, for playing Arthur Carlson on WKRP in Cincinnati. He was also a PC on soap. memorable appearance on Different Strokes in a very special episode as the creepy neighbor who wanted the boys to take their shirts off. Let's see, he was also the Maytag repairman from 1989 to 2003. Debbie Reynolds, born this day in 1932, was Mary Frances Reynolds, singer, actress, mother of the actress Carrie Fisher. She had a career which spanned nearly 70 years. Films include Three Little Words, Singing in the Rain, and Tammy and the Bachelor. The theme song, Tammy, which she recorded, went #1 on Billboard. Phil Niekro, born this day in 1939, baseball pitcher, best known for his knuckleball. He had 121 wins after the age of 40 and a total of 318 in a career which ran 24 seasons, 20 of them with the Milwaukee and Atlanta Braves. He was a 5-time National League Gold Glove winner and inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1997. Ronnie Lane, born this day in 1946, producer, singer, songwriter, bass player with Small Faces and Faces, inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. Sadly, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1977 and died in 1997 at the age of 51, but not before giving us great songs like Ooh La La, All or Nothing, and Itchy Coo Park. Jimmy Cliff, born this day in 1948, Jamaican ska and reggae singer, inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010, also received the Order of Merit, which is the highest honor given by the Jamaican government for achievements in the arts and sciences. Gave us songs like Wonderful World, Beautiful People, The Harder They Come, and a cover of Cat Stevens' Wild World. Rachel Maddow, born this day in 1973. She's a broadcast journalist, host of The Rachel Maddow Show on MSNBC. She also won a Grammy Award in 2021 for Best Spoken Word Album for her book, Blowout. Magdalena Malieva, born this day in 1975. She's a tennis player from Bulgaria, although Armenian. Her family actually found refuge in Bulgaria after the 1896 massacre in the Ottoman Empire. She had 10 career singles titles, and in 1992 she advanced to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open only to lose to her sister. Hillary Scott, born this day in 1984, country singer and songwriter with Lady Antebellum, of course they've been known as Lady A since 2020. She's the daughter of Linda Davis, best known for the song Does He Love You, which she recorded with Reba McEntire. Lady A's songs include Need You Now, Just a Kiss, and I Run to You. She released an album in 2016 called Love Remains. It's a gospel album she recorded with her family. She's also recorded with Luke Bryan, Maroon 5, and Dave Barnes. But, Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I sure do. Doug Kay's having a birthday today. Chad Reichert is celebrating a birthday today. Everybody should go into his office and tell him happy birthday.
Oh, absolutely.
I got a funny story about that in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Very good. Tommy Two-Tone Easel is having a birthday today. Randy Kuhn celebrating a birthday today. And, again, I think Randy... 81, 82, I'm not really sure.
That's just ignorant.
Have you seen his hair? He has been gray hair since...
That's fair.
Yeah, since he was like 12, I think it was. Jenny Lewis with a birthday today, Dustin Swope as well, and B.J. Peck having a birthday. Happy birthday, BJ. And to everybody else having a birthday, you got a birthday you want to celebrate, send us your information to studio at WRGG.org or go to our webpage. Simple as that. WRGG.org. We'll get it on. We're going to do it one more time today before the 9 o'clock news coming up in about, 60 minutes from right now. Dave Kipp, by the way, in at 9 today. Looking forward to seeing the Kipster, and hope you are ready to go with that mystery oldie of the day. Number 1, Blast from the Past, and salute to the hometown heroes. All right, here we go. Back to Stupid Is, Stupid Does. Number 1 would be Robert breaks leg, calls ambulance. Number 2, they recorded the rooster while they were on vacation and ran it from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., and that's just mean. Number 3, drunk driver left his arm behind. Number 4, man caught with a live turtle down his pants. And number 5, man empties apartment by dropping contents out windows. Okay, Bill. It was easy today.
I'm torn between 3 and 4. Leaving your prosthetic arm behind.
That's really
You might as well
stupid.
just leave a business card.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, then the whole idea of a turtle down your pants is
I know.
stupid on so many levels.
It's so many levels.
Yes.
I agree.
I've got to go with that one. It's
Turtle down your pants.
Yes.
Wasn't that a country song somewhere along the
should
lines?
have been,
It should have
yes.
been. Yeah. Here it is. I had to check my phone. Chris, which one do you think is the winner of this? Which is the stupidest one?
I don't know. The prosthetic arm is pretty good. On
Yeah.
that one.
That's like I said, I'm torn between those two.
They're both pretty interesting.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really sure either one. I was looking to see if I got anything from anybody else.
It's like a lot of times we'll have people that throw trash along the road and
Yeah.
they leave their information.
Yeah.
in the trash can.
right.
Excuse me, we're returning this to you right now. So, okay, very good. I guess I got to break the tie. I was waiting for someone to help out breaking the tie. But the prosthetic arm, I'm gonna say, how can you not take that with you?
Oh, exactly. How do you forget it?
How you forget it?
Yeah.
And I don't know how.
It's kind of
I don't know
like something you have to have.
Well, yeah, you would know what's missing, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I mean, wouldn't
one
you?
would think.
One would think. I don't
Surely
know.
your friends will the next day when you're, walking around
Hey,
with that one.
Bob, where's your arm? Oh man. I don't know what happened to it. Oh my. Stupid is stupid does. We try to do it every day, just about this time. So you get to participate if you so desire. If you don't so desire, you don't have to participate in it at all. Speaking of participation, coming up just a few minutes right here, 93.7 WRGG. Chris Palladino is here. Chris Ardinger is here. I just flew out automatically.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, he's not here. You are. And he has a story to tell about Chad Reichert's birthday. Or is it birthday or just Chad Reichert?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Very good. That's coming up. We're going to take a break for the news. NBC Radio News starts us off. We'll follow that up with the Jim Vaughn weather forecast. And into the 8 o'clock hour we go. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
WRGG LP. Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The federal government is reviewing almost $9 billion worth of contracts with Harvard University over the school's handling of anti-Semitism. More from Tammy Trujillo.
The Departments of Education, Health and Human Services, and the U.S. General Services Administration announced the review on Monday. Education Secretary Linda McMahon accused the school of failing to protect students from anti-Semitic discrimination while promoting divisive ideologies. The move comes after schools across the country have come under fire for student protests against Israel's actions in its war with Hamas.
President Trump says the U.S. can expect to see $5 trillion in investments after his tariffs are enacted. On Wednesday, new reciprocal tariffs are set to be imposed on Canada, Mexico, China, and the European Union. Senator Cory Booker kicked off a marathon speech Monday evening on the Senate floor, sharply criticizing President Trump and Elon Musk.
These are not normal times in America, and they should not be treated as such.
The New Jersey Democrat repeatedly attacked what he called the Trump administration's reckless actions and warned that the nation is in crisis. He insisted that the president has inflicted harm after harm on America's safety, financial stability, the foundations of our democracy, and also, in his words, any sense of common decency. The potential for more severe weather looms with storms stretched from the plains to the Midwest and South. Meteorologist Angie Lassman.
Next round is at our doorstep. We're going to see this be impactful throughout the work week with multiple days of severe weather. This morning, we've got plenty of winter alerts and wind alerts up across parts of the West. That's where we're seeing the most impactful conditions right now.
It could bring tornadoes, damaging wind and hail, and massive amounts of rainfall in parts of the Ohio and Mississippi valleys. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
For a quick pick-me-up for one, or to treat the entire team after a big game victory, Mikey's Ice Cream has been a favorite local stop for decades. A delicious sandwich, a light snack, or a refreshing drink always hits a spot when it comes from Mikey's. And your favorite ice cream flavor will taste even better in a Mikey's homemade waffle cone. Always a relaxed family atmosphere, Mikey's Ice Cream and Green Cow Gift Shop, a proud supporter of WRGG, is conveniently located at 179 South Antrim Way, Greencastle.
Till the weather outside makes up its mind, you can depend on Premier HVAC services to keep you comfortable inside. For sales, installation, same-day and 24-hour emergency services, Premier is your local heating and air conditioning professionals with free estimates, price match guarantee. 717-597-9900 and online at premierhvacpa.com.
Earl's Market on the Square in State Line, Pennsylvania, another generous sponsor of WRGG, is still your old-fashioned country store. Famous for their country-cured hams and old-fashioned store sharp real cheese. If you've never had a homemade hoagie from Earl's Market, well, you've never had a hoagie. There's always a whole lot of meat going on with Earl's old-fashioned hoagies. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Earl's Market on the Square in State Line, where their hams are cured, the cheese is aged, and the hoagies are super.
How many #1 songs can there be? One. If you guessed one, guess again. WRGG's library is filled with #1 songs from the 50s,
I'm in love. I'm all shook
60s,
and everybody calls it the Sugar Shack.
and 70s.
Tonight's the night.
WRGG 93.7 and on the web, WRGG.org.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have mostly sunny skies, high around 57. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, low around 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated afternoon showers, high around 61. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers, low around 54. And Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Solid Gold comes here to play. Your station, WRGG FM.
Okay, let me get this squared away here. Let's pull that down just like that. I wanted to tell you, and I got into a discussion with Chris and Bill, and I forgot what I was doing. That's really what happened. 38 degrees right now in downtown Greencastle at 93.7 WRGG. I'm Greg Hoover. Bill Gore with me. Chris Ardinger is here as he appears the first Tuesday of every month. Chris is the administrator and roadmaster. I like that title. Roadmaster at Antrim Township. I have you put away the plows?
Funny enough, we still have one truck with a plow.
Okay.
Well, I think we're doing that more for good luck.
I was going to say.
We want to leave one on there.
As soon as you do it, I think we're. I was telling Bill one time. I woke up. I was a little kid, and we lived with our grandparents. And I walked downstairs to get ready to go to school. My granddad said, "There's no school today," and I said, "Why?" He said, "It snowed out. It was April 1st." And I said, "You're not getting me on this. It's April Fool's." He opened the door. It had snowed, and we didn't have school. It was a big snowstorm. But
wow.
Yeah. So, but I think I always said the third weekend of March. After that, I felt like we're out of it, and we're in pretty good shape.
Theoretically.
Yes.
Theoretically.
Yes. So we'll take down the all but one plow.
All but one plow.
Remove all those sticks that you have out and about.
In fact, they were doing that last week, and they ended up, as you're plowing, there's many times where you accidentally gouge somebody's yard out. So
Right.
we go back. If people call in and report it to us, we go back out and fix it up and all that. So they did that. Because, of course, we don't do that until we don't have to plow again.
Right, yeah, because there's no sense doing it.
Yeah, it's just going to happen again.
And a lot of those sticks out there, those orange things, and I get that. I mean, it's just a lot of them, and that's a couple-day job, I'm sure, with that.
Yeah. And it is helpful. We find, like, I do a lot of neighborhoods plowing, so when I go into a neighborhood, between the sticks that we put out and then some of the residents actually put their own out, and they are helpful. Some roads, depending on how bad it is, how dark it is, you don't know where you're at.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Until you start seeing dirt fly, and then you're like, okay, I'm a little wrong here.
Yeah, a little wrong there. Something's not quite right. So I have one question before we get into your list of things to go. So is in front of our house we live on Shanks Church Road, right across from Heritage and Helen's Drive. There is a big pole or a big spool.
I've seen this.
Okay, and you don't know what it is either.
I have no idea. But it's funny you say that because yesterday I was out that way.
Yeah.
Heading to the park, and I looked over and I'm like, what are they? Now, I've seen that before. Like, I'll give you an example. In Mercersburg, of course, I live in Montgomery Township. So
Right.
on my way home, there's one road that I go on. And since I left as chamber director, and actually probably 3 years while I was still chamber director, the power company had a dead power line running down from the line, and it's still just hanging there.
Still there.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, you know, and I don't like to begrudge my neighbors to the west, but they had a little trouble with the post office getting things fixed, if you might remember.
That we did. That took a little while. I forget. You remember the number.
Oh,
I don't remember
I
what
probably
number it
even
is.
I probably even have it, but I'm not going to bring up old wounds like that. But so what's new in Antrim Township?
Well, we got a lot going on. Just a little, I'd mentioned earlier about Chad Reichert's birthday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, as we joked, he should probably stay home today on his birthday. Just an FYI to the public, we will be closed today from 11:30 to 1:30. You're going to notice some protesters in front of our office. Thankfully, they're not protesting Antrim Township.
Yeah.
We always like when that happens.
Yeah.
But they do have a cause, and I believe there's going to be a counter protest. So we're twice a year I take our girls out to do a little team building exercise.
Right.
So they're going to go do that today. And
Right. Good day to do that.
Good day to do that, and hopefully it's peaceful. And that is not an April Fool's joke either.
No.
Here's the thing, though. If people are going to protest WRGG in the morning show, do it here.
All right.
Show your face in front of us.
Exactly.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Other than that, we still, only because I receive this question probably almost daily at this point, if not multiple times a day, we still do have a burn ban.
Yes.
Admittedly, I did not look. I think the borough still has theirs.
I think that's still in effect too. Yeah.
And again,
now the rain helped last night, but probably
rain,
still wasn't enough.
No, the rain helped. Now again, this week it looks like we might get some rain at the end of the week, so we'll see. As of now, ours will go off. I think it's on the 8th. It's either the 8th or 11th. I got to get.
When I first heard of it, I thought it was a ban on the comedy of George Burns.
No burn jokes.
People would have probably appreciated that.
That's when people were protesting.
And I get it. I think the three of us get it. It's one of those things that we started out with the whole, hey, let's use common sense, and then next thing I know, I was going out to fire scenes. I can't tell you how many times.
Oh, I know.
Because somebody burned something. The next thing you know, and they're not intentionally doing it, but the next thing you know, it catches a wood line on fire, or God forbid your neighbor's house.
Right.
And, Kevin Barnes and his guys have better things to do than to chase, brush fires.
Well, I've also heard this. It rained on Friday. Why can't I burn my trash? Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's windy as it has been.
Exactly.
That just double trouble.
Yep.
So just give it a couple more weeks. Things will get better. We hope. April showers, as they say. And
we try. The last thing we do in Antrim Township is try to be the big bad government. But sometimes,
But sometimes you got it. Because sometimes common sense just isn't too common.
Well, the primary role of government is to see to the common good.
Yeah.
Correct.
And make sure safety, safety is paramount.
Yep.
Still a little dry out there. Now, we're very fortunate, I think, as I say this, in Antrim and Greencastle, is that, we have a lot of water running underneath.
You hit it. We actually, so we had our ATMA meeting last night, which usually I don't cover. However, our public works director, Roger, is very sick, so we wish him well.
Oh, yes.
So he couldn't make it, so I went, and our water table is at 15 feet. So for us, that's
good.
fine. We have no supply issues.
Yeah.
You might have seen pictures over in Chambersburg. Their reservoir.
Yeah,
it's horrible. Looking.
Yeah,
I think there may be 45%.
I don't know that I can't say that I've ever seen it when it was that, but it's really low.
It's
yeah,
bad.
Really
so
low.
I mean, still, I would say common sense. Everybody try to conserve water as much as you can, but we hope we get some rain and takes care of all that.
And not much you can do about that.
There's not much.
You can do about
unless
that.
you want to go dance or do whatever it is people do to get rain.
I'm not sure they work so well. So just saying. So okay,
we do,
very good.
Something else folks might find informational. Of course, Rick Bear has been our supervisor for I don't even know how long, long time. And Rick has decided that he is retiring from being a supervisor, so he's not running again. Surprisingly, I don't recall this ever happening in Antrim, but we only had one person put their name on the ballot.
Okay.
That gentleman's name is Jason Cochran. So barring any weird circumstances, he'll be the only one on the ballot and presumably our next supervisor.
Okay.
Seems like a very nice guy. I haven't really got to interact with him much, but he's been to our meetings. He was at the ATMA meeting last night.
Oh, good. Good.
You know, blue collar guy. He actually operates a crane down in West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Seems like a level-headed dude.
But you know, and I appreciate the fact. I can't hurt anyone's feeling, or I can't be. It doesn't matter anymore. Always liked it when people sign up to run for the school board. They have never been to a meeting. Don't come while they're running.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know it as well as I do too. The other thing that happens with that is they might make assumptions. You know, they might be mad about a certain issue.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, I see this all the time. They get on the board and they're there for 6 months and they go, well, things aren't really that bad.
Yeah.
Well,
or I didn't realize you can't control that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or they run it on that one single issue.
Yep.
And then they get into the office and then they deal with that issue and then they just have nothing else to.
Yeah. There's nothing else to do. So good. I'm glad that.
We like when there's no real agendas. You know, somebody just wants to get involved and be helpful, and you know that's what we like.
We need that. We need the help and we need the people to be in those government positions. But, you know, and again, you can't control why they go on, but it's always nice when
somebody has to help keep Fred in line, too.
Well,
and that can't be me every day.
I think that would be a full-time job. More than a full-time job. There should be like 2 or 3 people. So.
We probably should have 2 or 3 people.
And I don't want to have anything to do with it, just so you know. I'm not volunteering for that. So,
big thing out at our park, if you've, driven.
By the way, his pastor always referred to him as Fast Freddy.
Who did that?
Father Stahura.
Now that's funny. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna write that one down in my book. That's good.
Because he was always, whenever he was had the role of lector, because we were supposed to get like 15 minutes early.
Yeah,
he'd always get there like
2 minutes.
Oh, exactly.
No way.
He'd always come running in like 2 minutes before Master.
Can I say something about Mike Ross? He has never been late for us. Never been late for us.
That's
never.
That's a good compliment for WRGG.
Yes.
Well, and I remember back, you mentioned your chamber days. Back in my chamber days, he came to like every event.
Yep.
And now when he was the speaker, like at a breakfast, he always got there early.
Yeah, he'd be there early.
And I remember the one time when he was a speaker, he walks, he looks around, and he goes, "Oh, so this is what it's like to get here before these things start."
Well, I can remember one time, funny side note on that story, we had a meeting. It was actually when Herb Brooks came in, and we were looking at different transportation options. And we had Bill Schuster there. I mean, we had all the big wigs in the room, and Mike's supposed to be there leading this meeting. And he ain't there yet. Of course, I'm sitting in the room. They're like, okay, well, what's on the agenda? And I'm like, Mike, where you at here?
Yeah, I know. You're panicking, and then he walks in, and it's
all good.
It's all good. So Chris Ardinger is our guest, as he is the first Tuesday of every month, talking about the township. You were starting down the path of the park.
Parks, yeah. If you've been out to the main park, you will see a lot going on. It's actually unfathomable. I try to get out there every day just to see the progress. We're completing a new restroom building on the north end of the park. And also we are putting in the pickleball courts, so you'll see those laid out.
And the stationary bikes.
The stationary bikes are in.
They're in, right?
They're in.
Okay.
Yep, they're in.
Cool.
And then, in fact, they were putting signs up yesterday for those. And then our new natural water play area, they're really going to town on that. So the goal is, and we have no feelings that this won't happen, is to have all that done by Old Home Week this year.
Oh, great.
We plan to do a big kind of ribbon cutting in June, July. So it's going to be cool. And of course, down at Martins Mill Bridge, we're doing a lot down there where, you'll notice, and I get it. I think people see it and they're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? But you'll see a lot of trees that were cleared.
Sure.
And of course, we have arborists that come in and look at things, and they know what's going on.
Right, you just don't go chopping trees down for the fun of it.
Trees down. So it will be nice that when that road is done, it'll be a lot more secure access.
What's the projection on the road?
The road's probably going to take a little bit longer. I'm thinking we'll probably get started in the fall and hope for completion within a year.
Okay,
see how it goes.
I know it's not an easy. It's not
especially
easy.
as slopey as that
right,
is. But it'll be nice when it's done.
It will. It really will.
And of course, one thing we struggle with down there now is lack of electricity. We don't have network, so we'll be able to integrate all that stuff in too.
Yeah.
So
who'd have thought that's the necessary thing at the Martin Mill Bridge park is Wi-Fi? But I
never think. Of course, you think about it: cameras, security gates, all the stuff that you don't think about that ends up being tied into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but it's rolling. So I encourage you to get out to the park. right now, of course, from a road standpoint, as we speak, our guys are actually out, and many people will be happy about this. They are repaving Harshman and Slothour Road.
Oh, okay.
And of course, I can easily say, we have some roads in the township that we know are on our priority list. Philippi being one of them. There's a couple others, but those were some bad roads.
Well, that's the northern part of the town. I mean, the northernest part.
Yeah, correct.
So out there with
we stopped right at Guilford Township.
Right.
In fact, as I say this, it kind of reminded me. I didn't tell the 911 center that we closed that road yet. So I'll do that after that. But that'll be nice. We actually widened it by 4 feet.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
gonna be
significant.
cool.
Yeah,
it's very significant. And then I won't go through the whole list, but I know like the Cedar Brook development, if you go back in there, that's pretty rough. So we're going to do that this year. So our guys are swamped. In fact, speaking of wearing the Roadmaster hat, there's been many days here recently where just the other day somebody hit a stop sign. And I'm like, I'm looking around. I don't have any guys to send.
Yeah.
So I ended up going out. We have a temporary stop sign we put. I'm like, okay, I can at least
Put that
I
in.
can handle that.
Yeah,
I can do that.
That seems to be I shouldn't say a common occurrence, but I see a lot of signs now.
A lot of signs.
A lot of signs.
Yeah,
down, yeah.
And sometimes, like at intersections, to a point I can see it depending on where it's at. But then there's times that I was just driving. I'm like, how did that even happen?
Yeah.
And then we joke. Then we have the debate, and this is not a knock on PennDOT because we actually have a pretty good relationship with our PennDOT guys.
Right, and they listen to WRGG, so be careful.
That's right. But it's funny. We'll have this kind of debate back and forth sometimes. I'll send Bobby Bingaman, who's the district maintenance director. I'll send him a picture of a sign and I'll say, "Is this your problem or my problem?" 90% of the time, I get back, "It's my problem." I'm like, I don't think that's how this is to go here.
Well, why would he say that?
Yeah.
Let's make it yours.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, Chris Ardinger is our guest. You're tuning in. You say, "Who's that voice?" That's Chris Ardinger, administrator and roadmaster at Antrim Township, as he goes through some of the things they're doing. And again, always busy. I mean, it's not like you ever have a time when you're saying, "Guys, I don't know what to tell you to do." So,
and Greg, you know how it goes. I always say in municipal government, every day is an event.
Yeah,
it's just
something new comes up,
different thing
that you never thought would come up. That's an amazing thing.
And I've learned because as we know, when you deal with the public every day, and most of our folks are great. Sometimes especially when you put parking restrictions in. I've learned that here recently that you're not the most liked person.
Yeah.
But last Friday, I had one of those weeks. I'm like, I just need something mindless to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the road crew. I said, what can I do? And they're like, you know what? We're spreading mulch out at the park. Why don't you get down there?
Yeah.
So they put me on this little Yanmar tractor we have. I spread a mulch.
I think I saw you riding around on that. I saw the pictures of that. Yeah.
By the time I was done, I was happier than can be.
Yeah.
Nobody bugging me. No cell phone reception.
You know what I would do? I'd walk down to the kindergarten rooms.
That's a good point.
That was my I wouldn't say mindless, but it centered me.
Yeah.
Let's say it that way.
Just
made
you smile.
Yeah. Yes.
We all need those kind of little things.
That's right.
Public works standpoint, again, we're doing good there. As I often joke, I think on this show, we don't often hear from our public works guys, which is good because they're out doing their thing and they're kind of in the background.
Mm-hmm.
We are putting in, hopefully, if all goes well, a new water plant out at the park, which will actually service the retirement center.
Okay, and the new development
around there too. And I will say, what we've started to do is every quarter we have a little get together between the school districts, so the superintendent, myself, the borough manager. Sometimes a couple of our board members come, Mike Ross is included, and now our state reps and commissioners. And it's more just to get an idea of everything that's happening.
Yeah.
So we go over all the plans. And when you look at the residential plans on our books at the moment, it is very frightening.
It is frightening. I remember at one time, right before the recession hit, there was a big boom going on. And the numbers coming in, and we were using the 0.6, whatever, for a household.
Yep.
We were going to double the population. Now, don't get me wrong. I did not want the recession. It was a tough time to be a superintendent during the recession. But at the same time, it helped. It slowed everything down. Thank goodness, because
Yeah, and we're at that point now. I mean, just off the top of my head, I'm going to say about 500 new houses in the next 5 years, and you're probably looking at 1,500 new houses in the next 10 years.
Yeah, and as I said, 0.6. That point was what I wanted to say there, and I should have finished at 0.6 kids per house.
Yep.
They're really small kids, but no.
But you're right. If you use that number, and that might still be the number.
I don't know if it is. I've been out 9 years, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
At just 0.5 that's 750 kids.
Yep.
And that's the size of the high school. That's the size of a school. So yeah.
So we always want to keep the school district in the loop, make sure they know what's going on. And then on the commercial side, on the flip side, we also have a lot of projects there. So God love our planning and zoning girls. I don't know what I'd do without them.
Yeah.
In fact, there's days I walk in that office, I take a look at everything, and I just turn around and walk back
don't
out.
bother them. Don't bother them. Don't bother them. Don't say anything. Just walk
Or
out.
they'll be in the conference room, and they'll all be sitting there, and I'll like poke my head in. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we're getting ready to do this housing development down here. I'm like, no, get out. Just get out.
Yeah, I'll leave. Yeah.
But that's good. A lot going on there. We're excited for the new water plant. We are doing out at Rochester Place, which is there at State Line. We did add a new water tower there because I think I mentioned this before, but we have about 5,000 sewer customers, and we only have about 500 water customers.
Okay,
so our water system has a lot of room to grow.
Right.
Just a matter of where that occurs.
I'm trying to think where that's at.
It's actually out in Sherwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
we have a plant in Sherwood, and then we have a tower up at Cedar Brook.
Yeah.
And then we have this other tower now at State Line, and then the new water plant will be at the park. So we'll be spread out a little bit,
It was interesting. As I mentioned on the air, Rhonda and I went to Charlottesville, Virginia for the concert, and on the way back up 81, there were towers everywhere, and they were painted pretty, and she said, we don't have, I don't know why they have all these towers. I said, well, that's how their water supply works. They probably do not have the water underneath the well systems that we do, so they need to have these water systems. Now they were, some were not as decorated as the other, but but it was a lot of towers, and you don't see those here because of our water
There's
system.
we just Charlie Pride song with the line, "Give me towns with water towers."
Yeah. Ours just kind of look like silos.
Right.
Yeah. Now we did put in this year. The supervisors decided to spend some money on security enhancements, which is good. One of those things that you
don't
kind of
wanna do,
awake,
but yeah.
stay awake at night thinking about, and you hope nothing ever happens.
Right.
But especially our water infrastructure, we want to keep that protected. So we're doing good there. But yeah, it is crazy the amount of projects that we have on the books at the moment.
And you'll never be done. Even though you think you're going to be done, you always have that. If I could just get this done,
never going to be done.
Never going to be done.
Yeah.
Now, because the roads will continue to wear and tear.
Yep.
So that's right there.
And we have gotten a pretty good maintenance plan in effect. We'll give a shout out to good old Evan, who's calling me at the moment. So we'll just hope nothing broke, because that's usually when Evan calls. He tells me something broke. We do have 118 miles of roads. We're always adding roads. We just took ownership of Rian Drive out at Rolling Hills. We're about ready to take possession of Ebert Springs. Out towards exit 3 there.
Right.
So we're always gaining roads. I joke, as much as I'd like to get rid of roads, that's a lot harder to do.
Yeah.
So we're just always dealing with roads.
Yep.
But our guys do a great job. They come up with a good list. I think this year we're going to end up, and I'm going to say the bad word that nobody likes me to say, which is tar and chip.
Yeah.
Now we'll end up doing about 4 tar and chip roads. Now the difference between how we do it now, and I get it. I think people are used to seeing they go down a PennDOT tar and chip road. Well, PennDOT does it very differently than what we do it.
Mm-hmm.
PennDOT has their own machines, their own equipment. They do it. We contract out.
Right.
We've had a very good relationship with Russell Standard, and we actually do a double chip. So they put a layer of tar down, put a layer of stone, layer of tar, layer of stone.
Okay.
And then some of the roads, they'll come back and do a fog seal. And it's just, by the end of it, like if you drive down Pensinger Road today or North Rabbit Road, you'd never even know.
You wouldn't know it. Yeah. I've been on the other roads where you do know it.
You do know.
Right.
Yep, you can tell.
I get that.
And
But
then,
at the same time, necessary evil, right?
Necessary evil.
Yeah.
And then we've got several roads like Harshman and Slot Hour that we're completely repaving. Frank Road will be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gano Paving, we partner with them to do a lot of our patchwork.
Right.
And I think Dirk and his guys are actually going to do 1 or 2 of our developments.
Oh, okay. Very good.
And that's what we're blessed to. We try to work with local contractors, AAA out of Waynesboro, Dirk here, and it just makes our lives easier.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very good.
So it's rolling along.
All right. Chris Ardinger's our guest. He'll be back. This is April 1st, so it'll be May the 6th. And I will say this to you, and I'll remind people at the time, you got questions for Chris, you can either give us a call or send us the questions, and we'll ask them for you because, best I can tell, and I've been watching him, he's not hiding anything. So.
And I will say, too, in the meantime, if you follow us on Facebook or our website, I've started to do a question of the week.
Yes.
Same kind of concept, because you do every week. There's something that comes up that you'll hear people say, well, why is this? So the last one I did on speeding. First, I didn't quite know I was going to list so much commentary on that, but
what was the reaction?
Well,
good. Of course, everybody.
But our road is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And we
I
hear
mean, not
that
our
a
road, but
lot.
our road. Yeah.
And everybody wants speed bumps, and I always joke, I'm like, if we listen to all that, we'd have a speed bump on every road.
Right.
But,
Every 10 feet.
Yeah, everybody's road is yours.
To Greg's point, feel free to let them know. I'm all about transparency, and
as you said in that question, that the state police are the ones that control or the enforcement of that. There's nothing you can do about that.
I joked. I told somebody the other day, I don't think I made him very happy. I'm like, do you want me to put spike strips down? I mean, other than that, I don't know what I can do.
Yeah. And,
like those inbred cannibal hillbillies from Wrong Turn.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you coming in. We know you're busy, but we like to think this is part of. Well, I know it's part of your job. I don't mean it that way, but getting the word out.
He's the face of Andrew Township.
Ooh, that's scary.
Well, it's either he or Fred.
All right, I'll take it over Fred.
Thank you. That's really what we wanted you to say, how that works. So, but nevertheless, thanks again, and we'll talk to you in a month. If not before.
Good.
Absolutely, right. Yes, indeed.
Okay, we're going to take a break. News bottom of the hour here. Find out what's going on locally with Scott Douglas, and local sports with John Freeman, local weather Jim Vaughn. It's all coming up. We'll come back. Tell me something good, and April Fool jokes that some people have pulled in the past. That's all coming up next right here.
I laugh mine.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
From high above the broadcast house in downtown Greencastle, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The Wall Street vet tapped by President Trump to head up the Social Security Administration is about to be put under the microscope. Frank Bisignano will be questioned today by the Senate Finance Committee. His nomination faces intense scrutiny over proposed DOGE cuts to the agency. Voters in 2 states, Wisconsin and Florida, will be heading to the polls in what's being seen as a national referendum of sorts. Today in Wisconsin, there's a state Supreme Court election, and Florida voters will decide 2 pivotal vacant House seats that could help shift the balance of power nationally. 4 separate biopics, one for each member of the Beatles, will be released in April 2028. We now know who'll be playing the Fab Four in director Sam Mendes' passion project. Harris Dickinson will play John Lennon, Paul Mescal will play Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan will play Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn will play George Harrison. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Since 1984, Greencastle Eye Care Center has been the leader of quality vision care, using state-of-the-art diagnostic technology, providing personalized optometric services, and the best quality optical products to their patients in Greencastle. The experienced optometrists offer comprehensive eye exams, specializing in the diagnosis and treatment of eye disease, and fit many different types of contact lenses. Greencastle Eye Care Center participates with many insurances and are always accepting new patients. You may schedule an appointment by calling 717-597-7708. The office of the Greencastle Eye Care Center is located in the John Grove Medical Center on Eastern Avenue. Greencastle Eye Care Center, a much appreciated supporter of WRGG.
This is a Radio PA news update. The Pennsylvania Senate approved a bill requiring prosecutors to notify U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement when encountering a criminal defendant who entered the country illegally. Sponsored by Senator Dan Laughlin, the bill was motivated by high-profile crimes such as the one that occurred in Georgia with Lake and Riley. Supporters argue that it's simply about informing ICE, while critics, including Democratic Senator Art Haywood and Senator Sharif Street, argue that it would create entanglements for local authorities and harm immigrant communities. The bill passed with unanimous Republican support and some Democrats. It now heads to the House for consideration. Cantor Fitzgerald biotech analysts criticized HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., urging the Trump administration to reconsider his role after FDA official Peter Marks resigned. Analysts accused Kennedy of making dangerous, unscientific decisions, citing his dismissal of Marks, who led the vaccine approvals. The move rattled biotech stocks, with the SPDR S&P Biotech ETF dropping 6%. The backlash is notable given Cantor's ties to Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Financially struggling, Rosemont College will merge with Villanova University, with the process beginning in 2027 and finalizing in 2028. The move marks the second recent Catholic college closure in the region, following Cabrini University. Villanova will honor Rosemont's legacy, and tenured track faculty will be offered contracts. Rosemont's athletic programs will end after 2026, leaving athletes facing tough decisions. Rosemont's campus will become Villanova University Rosemont Campus. The Pittsburgh Pirates lost 6-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays in their series opener, with starter Carmen Mlodzinski struggling in the fourth inning. The offense was stagnant, managing just 4 hits, while Tampa Bay capitalized. Manager Derek Shelton called for more aggressive approach at the plate as the Pirates fell to 1-4 in the season. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
There was a time when every small town had several local family-owned auto dealerships. Greencastle still has one. Antrim Way Honda, 200 South Antrim Way, just off exit 3 of I-81. Home to a large selection of pre-owned vehicles. Something for every budget. All pre-owned vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection. When you drive away, you'll know your ride is safe and dependable. You may check out their inventory online at antrimhonda.com. And while your vehicle is being professionally serviced, you can relax with some great refreshments in the cafe at Antrim Way. Antrim Way Honda, a much appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. It's the 1st of the month. Yup, April 1st. You know what that is, don't you? Hey, coming up, another Easter egg hunt to tell you about. Stand by. Sad news now from the Greencastle Police Department as they released this last night. Sunday, another person has died while riding an electric bicycle or e-bike. It happened on Ronald Drive off South Antrim Way in the development behind Antrim Way Honda. Greencastle police say the unidentified person was pronounced dead at the scene after EMS did their best to revive them. This comes after the death of 36-year-old Brandon Garrison of Hagerstown, who was killed last Tuesday on Longmeadow Drive in Hagerstown while riding an e-bike which collided with an SUV. Our condolences to family and friends of both victims. Yesterday, the Washington County Board of Commissioners announced that their countywide burn ban will remain in effect. They will continue to monitor weather conditions and reevaluate this Friday, April 4th. All outdoor burning is prohibited. That includes campfires, open fire pits, burning of debris and brush, agricultural burns, and that's the same as it is here in Greencastle Borough, Antrim Township, and Washington Township. All those burn bans remain in effect. So cool your jets and wait till conditions get better. In other news, Pennsylvania State Police are on the lookout for the Antrim Township chainsaw bandits. What? Over the last couple of weeks, multiple chainsaws have been stolen from Advanced Tree Solutions in Greencastle and another business. Crooks stole them right out of the company's trucks. Pennsylvania State Police believe the suspects are from the Mercersburg area. If you have any information, call the Pennsylvania State Police Chambersburg Barracks. A man from Mexico who was deported in 2019 was picked up at the end of last year during a DUI traffic stop in Franklin County. The United States Attorney's Office announced that 34-year-old Daniel Martinez Canjay of Mexico has now been indicted by a federal grand jury on a charge of illegal re-entry. Canjay's DUI case in Franklin County is pending as he awaits the deportation case. So remember I mentioned the Easter egg hunt coming up April 19th at Tyamenasakta. Well, if you don't want to wait that long, there's an Easter egg hunt right next door. It's an Easter egg hunt and fun run this Saturday from 1 to 3 at the Gale Center on Oak Hill Avenue in Hagerstown. The YMCA is a co-host for the event. No registration required. Just come on and have some Easter egg fun this Saturday. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
Join Mike Kirshner, your host of On Track with Mike, for all the latest regional asphalt and dirt track racing coverage in the tri-state area. Tune in to WRGG Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. when T.A. Ward Construction of Greencastle presents nearly 2 hours of exciting auto racing news. Todd Ward has more than 40 years' experience, fully insured and military veteran. For all your home improvement needs, you can call Todd at 717-331-4974. The green flag drops for On Track with Mike, Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock on your Sports Connection, WRGG 93.7 FM, and streaming at WRGG.org.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
Monday's rain impacts the Blue Devil baseball team. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. The Blue Devil baseball team's game Monday afternoon at Spring Grove was postponed due to the afternoon wet weather. A makeup date has been tentatively set for Friday, May 9th, with the game being played in Greencastle. The Blue Devils will try again later today as they will be at home hosting Boiling Springs in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup. First pitch from Greencastle is set for 4:15, and the game will be broadcast live on WRGG 93.7 FM and streaming at midpennbroadcasting.com. Greg Hoover brings you all the action beginning with the pregame show, getting underway around 4 p.m. Also in action later today, the Blue Devils softball team as they will hit the road to face Boiling Springs. Head coach Mark DeCarly and the Blue Devils will be looking for their 5th consecutive win to start the season. This afternoon's game from Boiling Springs is scheduled to get underway at 4:30. Also in action this afternoon, the Blue Devil track and field teams as they return to action following a strong performance over the weekend at the Tim Cook Invitational in Chambersburg. The Blue Devil track and field athletes will be at home this afternoon hosting James Buchanan in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup. The Blue Devils and the Rockets are set to meet on the Cayley Field track beginning at 3:30 this afternoon. That's a look at sports for a Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
Chuck Talk, a program about Franklin County High School sports, is on WRGG 93.7 FM, WRGG.org, and MidPennBroadcasting.com, Thursday nights at 7:30. I'm Gary Clyde, inviting you to join John Freeman and me as we preview the upcoming games and talk high school sports with players, coaches, and the reporters who cover the games for the sports page. It's Chalk Talk, Thursday nights at 7:30, live from the studios of 93.7 FM, WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have mostly sunny skies, high around 57. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, low around 38. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated afternoon showers, high around 61. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers, low around 54. And Thursday, mostly cloudy skies with showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim. 39 degrees, clear skies, and the sun shining brightly in downtown Greencastle. Humidity at 67%. Record high today, 84 degrees. In 1978, we'll be safe from that. The high around 57 today. 9 degrees in 1923. That'll be okay, too, as well. 35 to 57 is the average temperatures for this time of the year. 6:54 is when the sun came up. It'll set tonight, 7:35. That's 12 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. Again, 39 degrees at 93.7 WRGG, and on the web at WRGG.org. And don't forget, if you so desire, you can go to WRGG.org, hit the button that says Watch Live, and there we are, watching live. And then later, after we are done with the live show at 9 o'clock, it gets archived. You can go back and, if you missed the Chris Ardinger interview, you can go back and see that again. So I don't have the camera situations right yet. I'm still waiting for someone to fix that for me. And that's been a slow bake thing operation, but we'll get to it. It's my fault. I messed it up to begin with, so I can't blame Jason Kabler for not doing what he volunteers
Of course,
to do.
right,
yeah,
right,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, that being said, by the way, Elisa Parsons agreed with us, the guy with the arm. Is the winner stupid as stupid does? If you missed that part, well, he had a prosthetic arm and he left it at the scene of a wreck. And again, I don't know how that happens. So,
At what point did he realize?
when the police showed up to arrest him,
yes.
yeah. They already had that arm handcuffed.
I could see leaving all sorts of things behind accidentally, like your wallet, your glass, whatever. But how do you leave behind?
Leave your arm.
Prosthetic arm.
Bill, didn't you have an arm before?
Was he just such a hurry?
I got to get out of here. Heck with that arm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that was the winner. I did miss a question, and I apologize because sometimes this doesn't ring and I hear Stan Flanner did ask, wanted me to ask Chris, and I will next time when water might be coming to the state line area.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
so you help me remember that question for you next time. We'll ask that one. We appreciate that as well. So that's what's going on. Okay, now since it's April Fool's Day, we're going to do this one. While companies don't seem to play April Fool's pranks as much anymore, and I can remember when the newspaper, the Record Herald per se, I knew that Sid Miller used to always have like a picture, and he would doctor the picture up. Before you really could doctor pictures up, he would doctor it up. And Lurpa Ufa was his name of the credited to the picture. But people don't do it, but here's some stories from the past. Car maker Lexus teamed up with a DNA analysis company 23andMe to help customers find the perfect vehicle to match their genetics. Lexus promised to deliver a custom-built Lexus within 48 hours after your spit test DNA analysis. Language app Duolingo introduced Broalingo, a lineup of fictional beers that would help you learn a language just by imbibing in them. Wow, that's a great idea.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And eyewear company Warby Parker got together with fast food giant Arby's to explore the synergy between glasses and meat through a Warby's collaboration. The joke video about the partnership promotes an onion ring monocle. So that was some of the things that took place with that. So, well, I always say there's nothing new, and this one I don't mind. Another movie coming out on Netflix, launching a live-action series on Scooby-Doo. A live-action series on Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
The iconic mystery-solving gang shedding light on their mysterious beginning in an 8-episode adventure. Joined by beloved characters like Shaggy, Daphne, Velma, and Freddy, the gang dives into spine-chilling mystery that tests their friendship and their courage.
Oh, man. I'm looking forward to that.
And, we told you the other day, and I don't know if it's out yet, and I think it is. There's a Led Zeppelin documentary out.
Yes.
I would have called it Get the Lead Out, but I don't know what they called it. I don't know what it was. But HBO's 2-part documentary, Billy Joel, and So It Goes, will premiere this summer, delving into the life and music of Billy Joel and exploring the personal struggles that influenced songwriting. The documentary offers a deep dive into Joel's life, featuring never-before-seen performances, home videos, things like that. So
that's a lot to get into there.
That is. Really,
very
really,
long
really.
and illustrious career.
Yes. So, Bill, why don't you tell me, wait a minute. I know you got to go early. So
I do, unfortunately.
So that's why we're going to do this part right here.
Oh, okay.
That way I can get... You did take notes, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Hey, what do you say? What did you learn
On the morning show
today when
Greg Hoover
points your way? What will you say?
All righty.
Yeah, I learned some of those company April Fool's jokes. I remember a couple of those.
Yeah, I do too.
I also recall the year that Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy switched hosts.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Alex
right. That was
Trebek
great.
came out for Wheel of Fortune
Yeah.
and Pat Sajak for Jeopardy. And I had forgotten until we did Today in History about when Gmail was launched. People thought it was a gag.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
Google launched that. We learned a lot about Antrim Township from Chris.
We did, didn't we?
I didn't realize Rick Barron is retiring.
Yeah.
And we learned about the new water tower, which I find fascinating. And let's Let's see what else we learned. Oh, of course, all the things happening over at Antrim Township Park as well. It's just amazing at Martinsville Bridge. Then on a lighter note, let's see. We learned that if you commit a crime, do not leave your prosthetic arm behind.
Take all your prosthetic
yes.
limbs
Just
with
don't
you.
leave anything
don't
behind.
Don't leave anything
yes.
behind.
Also,
tips for criminal.
If you break your leg in the course of committing a crime, do not call an ambulance.
Unless you want arrested.
And we're learning more about our musical tastes. Having heard everybody's 10th favorite song today.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be a good series.
A little change up for us here with that. And, Anything else?
That's what I have, yeah.
Well, and just so to remind you, tomorrow we are doing fictional bands.
Yes.
Or it doesn't have to be a band. It could be an artist.
Fictional artist or band.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
and there are a lot of them out there.
Well, there's
Movies
more
and
than I
such.
thought of them. Yeah. So,
and then there are a couple on my list who, I know there are a couple who started off as fictional and then actually released albums and toured.
Right.
But I still consider them fictional.
Yeah.
And then there are a couple that were fictional bands, but the music was provided by real bands.
Right.
Yeah. So that'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
I went through. I got my list, and I'm pretty good with my list. With what's in there. I'll just leave it at that. We'll do that tomorrow with Chris and Jason, and that starts at 7:00. We'll go through our fictional bands.
And I know you and I believe Chris Palladini will not have the Monkees on our list. No,
they're not on the list.
They were a real band.
They're not fictional in my
Exactly.
book.
Yep.
And of course, there's no secret. If you know me well enough, you know in my top 10, I'm going to have a Monkey song on there. So,
absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up tomorrow right here on 93.7 WRGG. Should be a lot of fun with that one. And then Thursday, of course, it is Vern's Day on Thursday. And as we hit the March, April, we have the Flying Boxcars on Thursday. Vern has his connections there. He's bringing them
Yes,
in
indeed.
to talk to us. And then on Friday, Bill, it's Ben Jones.
Beth Jones.
Oh, Beth Jones.
Beth Jones from the Greek House Senior Center.
Oh, that's right. Yes, good.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we want to talk to her there, find out a lot about what's happening on Saturdays out there at the Senior Center. So that should be good. So that's all happening this week right here at 93.7 WRGG. Well, Bill, I know you have to run.
Unfortunately.
And we're going to do the Birthday Club. It's previously recorded. And after that, we'll be back to wrap things up right here.
Sounds good. And I'll see you tomorrow, Greg.
See you tomorrow, Bill. Where's the Birthday Club? Here it comes. That being said, speaking of prosthetic arms, I don't know what I meant by that, but nevertheless, you know what I mean.
Yes, indeed.
Time now for the Birthday Club once again.
WRGG.
Lon Chaney, born on this day in 1883. Actually, his full name was Leonidas.
Really?
Like the king of Sparta, yeah.
I had that once, but a lot of antibiotics seem to take care of it. I don't know.
He was a makeup
Always
artist,
does, yeah.
director, screenwriter, actor, of course, films like The Phantom of the Opera, London After Midnight, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was known as the Man of 1,000 Faces. Gordon Jump, born this day in 1932, actor, known, of course, for playing Arthur Carlson on WKRP in Cincinnati. He was also a police chief on Soap. Memorable appearance on Different Strokes in a very special episode as the creepy neighbor who wanted the boys to take their shirts off. Let's see, he was also the Maytag repairman from 1989 to 2003. Debbie Reynolds, born this day in 1932 as Mary Frances Reynolds, singer, actress, mother of the actress Carrie Fisher. She had a career which spanned nearly 70 years. Films include Three Little Words, Singing in the Rain, and Tammy and the Bachelor. The theme song, Tammy, which she recorded, went to #1 on Billboard. Phil Necro, born this day in 1939, baseball pitcher, best known for his knuckleball. He had 121 wins after the age of 40 and a total of 318 in a career which ran 24 seasons, 20 of them with the Milwaukee and Atlanta Braves. He was a 5-time National League Gold Glove winner and inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1997. Ronnie Lane, born this day in 1946, producer, singer, songwriter, bass player with Small Faces and Faces, inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. Sadly, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1977 and died in 1997 at the age of 51, but not before giving us great songs like Ooh La La, All or Nothing, Itchy Part. Jimmy Cliff, born this day in 1948, Jamaican ska and reggae singer, inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010. Also received the Order of Merit, which is the highest honor given by the Jamaican government for achievements in the arts and sciences. Gave us songs like Wonderful World, Beautiful People, The Harder They Come, and a cover of Cat Stevens' Wild World. Rachel Maddow, born on this day in 1973. She's a broadcast journalist, host of The Rachel Maddow Show on MSNBC. She also won a Grammy Award in 2021 for Best Spoken Word album for her book, Blowout. Magdalena Malieva, born on this day in 1975. She's a tennis player from Bulgaria, although Armenian. Her family actually found refuge in Bulgaria after the 1896 massacre in the Ottoman Empire. She had 10 career singles titles, and in 1992 she advanced to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open, only to lose to her sister. Hillary Scott, born on this day in 1984, country singer and songwriter, Lady Antebellum. Of course, they've been known as Lady A since 2020. She's the daughter of Linda Davis, best known for the song Does He Love You, which she recorded with Reba McEntire. Lady A's songs include Need You Now, Just a Kiss, and I Run to You. She released an album in 2016 called Love Remains. It's a gospel album she recorded with her family. She's also recorded with Luke Bryan, Maroon 5, and Dave Barnes. But Greg, I think give the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I sure do. Doug Kay's having a birthday today. Chad Reichert is celebrating a birthday today. Everybody should go into his office and tell him happy birthday.
Oh, absolutely.
I got a funny story about that in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So keep going.
Very good. Tommy Two-Tone Easel is having a birthday today. Randy Kuhn celebrating a birthday today. And again, I think Randy, 81, 82. I'm not really sure. Have you seen his hair? He has been gray hair since.
That's fair.
Yeah, since he was like 12, I think it was. Jenny Lewis with a birthday today. Dustin Swope as well. And BJ Peck having a birthday. Happy birthday, BJ. And to everybody else having a birthday, you got a birthday you want to celebrate, send us your information to studio at WRGG. I guess I wasn't supposed to turn that off, but you know the Birthday Club. We do it each and every day, Monday through Saturday right here at 93.7 WRGG before the 7, 8, and 9 o'clock news. Speaking of the 9 o'clock news, it's coming up in 6 minutes right after the news and weather. It is Dave Kipp. And speaking of Dave Kipp, he's right here as well. Good morning, Dave.
This is pre-recorded.
Yeah, previously recorded.
Recorded. Yeah.
So how you doing today?
Hey, I tell you what, that weather's changed.
Oh, man.
I mean, I knew it was going to get cooler, but I didn't realize what that was going to feel like after the warm days we've had.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Well, you know, I wore shorts yesterday. First time I had shorts on. And I had those, you know, what I usually do, sometimes I like jeans or shorts. I put them up on the rack to wear in here, you know, because I'm getting up quick. And I got up this morning, looked at my thermometer and said, no, I'm not wearing the shorts. So got a pair of pants out.
Oh, man, I saw the wind chill was 31 about 4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, too cold for me.
That was quite a change from yesterday.
Yes, it
was.
was.
The day before, yeah.
It really was. I can't believe that it happened, but it did. And
well, there's supposed to be a day. It's a roller coaster week this week. I think it's supposed to be 70.
Again.
One day later on.
Okay.
60, at least 60 something. And there's what I saw. I don't know what Jim Vaughn's calling for, but there's supposed to be some rain.
Yes, later on in the week. Yeah.
Boy, we had a nice shower yesterday.
That was nice.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
As we talked to Chris Ardinger, our water systems in Greencastle and Antrim, because of the water that runs underneath, is in pretty good shape. But that was not enough to really call off the burn ban yet.
Right,
but
right.
You know, a couple more like that.
You know, I noticed it must be really serious because they're at Sheets on 11 and 16. Did you see the big sign?
No.
There's a huge sign, highway sign.
Yes, I did. Burn ban in effect.
Burn ban in effect. Do not burn. I mean, it's big and it gets your attention.
Well, and again, as we talked this morning, the winds are not conducive to a dry brush fire. How you like that one? They're not conducive to a brush fire right now. So yeah, just be aware of that one.
We had a number of years ago. I came home from, I don't know what, a school board meeting or something. I came home. It was just about dark, and I came into the cul-de-sac at our lane before I went down into the property, and I noticed my hayfield was all black. What in the world? It turns out a neighbor on the other end of the field tried to burn something, and it got out of hand, and the fire company was there. And I mean, not when I was there. It was all done when I got there. But they burned about half, 3/4 of my hayfield.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much.
It doesn't
take much.
No.
A little bit of wind.
Well, that's just it, and you can't get ahead, can't get behind.
Yeah,
it just becomes a mess. So I know it can be inconvenience for some at this stage of the game, but still continue.
And the penalties are pretty stiff.
Yes, they are.
Possible jail time or $1,000.
Yeah.
I think that's what I saw for Greencastle area.
I think that's I know the $1,000 is sitting up there. So I'm not going to burn anything, and I'm going to let it go. So let's see. You got your mystery oldie ready to go?
You betcha. As soon as I get it off that flash drive.
There you go. Got that
mystery
up and ready
oldie,
to go.
number one blast from the past.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, right. You got it. And also today, I'll mention this, but I'll mention it here. But today is the day that Marvin Gaye's dad shot him.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if you maybe already mentioned that.
Well, that was in today's history. Yes.
Okay.
It was. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. What a sad story.
Yeah.
And there's no way else to say it. Just a sad.
First time
sad
I
story.
saw that, I thought, you got to be kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know he died that way.
No, I know it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, a little salute to Marvin Gaye today.
And people listening, they're no fool one today.
No,
because they're listening to WRGG.
They're all fools, aren't they? For listening to us, especially the morning show. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Why? I have no idea. I really don't. But nevertheless, with that being said, we'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early. Don't forget, 7 o'clock, Jason and Chris join us. We'll do our 5 fictional bands. And then on Wednesday, that's tomorrow, yeah. Thursday, the Boxcars are in town to talk to us a little bit. Vernon will be around as well. I'd like to thank Bill Gore for being here, Chris Palladino, Jason Kabler for their contribution. Our special guest, Chris Ardinger. Always a pleasure to have him in and talk to him. We heard from Melissa Parsons, Stan Flenner as well, Scott Douglas, John Freeman, Jim Vaughn, Michael Kastner, and Juan Harango for the news, sports, and weather. We appreciate their time and energy to put that together for us so we can keep you informed. Don't go away. Dave Kipp is next. Might be a little cold out there, but still a nice day. Be safe.
On WRGG.
The opinions expressed on this program or any program broadcast